feel. 2-minute drill, highlight reel. Let's review. What's the deal? Okay, watching footage going out of control. Buckle up, we got an hour to go, so let's go. That's straight heat. Ain't no chillin' around here. Back that back, Nat Chance, how we feelin' around here? Got my whole squad in the building around here. If my name ain't on it, then I really don't care. Come on. 3-point stance, we advance. Ball in my hands, I don't take no chance. Touchdown dance, that's my jam. No hot takes, this is nothing but rants.
Welcome in, ladies and gentlemen, to MBR, or as we like to call it around here, Nothing But Rants, the show where I find topics that I'm oddly passionate about and I pontificate upon them. These are not hot takes, but rather takes that I'm hot about. What's up? You like that? You really like that?
Let's shut up and grind some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome in to the Film Guy Network on a fabulous Tuesday evening here on the network. For some reason, my notes thought it was Wednesday. My notes were going to welcome you in on a loaded Wednesday. It's a loaded Tuesday, and it's a great show here planned for you guys tonight. I don't know if y'all know this, but spring football is here. We talked about this last night. We got like big-time football programs already playing and practicing spring football. We're going to get into a full-on spring ball preview, address some of the biggest questions we think we might get answers to this spring practice window. We are preparing for 24. I don't know if y'all are. I'm preparing for 24. Y'all preparing for 24?
I guess we don't have a choice.
You preparing for 24?
Unfortunately.
Ain't no options. We're preparing for 24. What the hell is he talking about? We're going to prepare you tonight for 24 as well. And we ranked non-quarterback related players today. Got some feedback from the audience on that one as well. Should be a great one for you guys tonight. Make sure you hit that thumbs up button. If you're watching us live today, you're the most important member of our audience, all right? You're the one that will impact who finds us from the new people's perspective, all right? Make sure you hit that thumbs up button and fire it off in the chat. If you're not already subscribed, go ahead and do so, all right? Do me another favor in the midst of this offseason, in the midst of this search for the sickos. Call a friend. If they don't know about the Film Guy Network, put them on. All right, put them on, and then that's how we spread the good word of this place around here. We can double in size just by doing that. Did you know that? Yeah. Every single one of you just call one of your partners and be like, hey, I got a place you need to be. We can get to that 100K in a breeze. All right, boys, I already talked about it. Spring football is here. Don't know if you know this, but Clemson, Florida, Missouri, we got some football programs already getting after it in the practice windows already.
Yeah, can I just say something?
What's up?
I don't like spring football.
You don't like spring football?
As a fan, it tricks my brain like, oh, it's coming back.
I need that trick. I need that trick, dude. Because I'm out here in withdrawals. At least this will get me a little push, a little further down.
Yeah, until they go, all right, you got 6 more months, half a year. No, I don't like spring
brother,
football.
I need it. I need it.
I'd rather just be told you got to suck it up through the 9 months thing. Like, here's a little bit of football, what it feels like, and then you have to go another half a year without it.
The only thing that I hate about spring football is all of the absurd projections that are made about football teams. Like, this is certainly the time of year where people get exposed for not lack of ball knowledge, but maybe just, maybe being a little crazy, maybe not being as informed as you should be, things of that nature. Like, I don't know. That's what it exposes people, in my opinion. That's what spring football does.
I think spring football is time for optimism, and it is time for the takes. That is what it is time for. It is time to feel like you are going to be better than you were a year ago, even though you may or may not be. Let's start where they're already playing football. Guys, Clemson's got a very heated quarterback battle going on.
Perhaps
don't
the
know
most
if you know
heated
this.
of all time.
Perhaps the most heated of all time. Don't hear very many. You know the old adage, if you got 2 quarterbacks, you don't have one?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Well, what's the adage on if I got 5? Because Dabo Swinney says we got 5 playables at the quarterback position. Do you want to hear their names? Because for those listening that aren't diehard Clemson fans, maybe if you are a Clemson fan, you might not know all 5 of these names. Let's rattle through them. Christopher Vazina, young man out of Alabama, the lead favorite here going into spring practice to be the starter. Now, he's been in the program for quite some time. He is the veteran of sorts with regards to tenure at the university. Has not played a whole lot of football, as has the rest of the room. Chris Denson is a redshirt freshman, a lefty in this competition. He seems to be the one who actually might give Vizina a run for his money in this quarterback battle. Trent Pierman, a.k.a. Clemson Tigers Stetson Bennett special. This is a local South Carolina football player, won a state title, walked on to Clemson, lit up the spring game. Watch out for old Trent Pierman. And then the two freshmen that Dabo, got to hype up as they show up on campus. Tate Reynolds, we saw at the Elite 11. Great athlete, thick, big football player. I don't know if we're like a very polished passer at this moment. And then another freshman, Brock Bradley. They got some names now.
They do have some names.
Got some names
They sound
up
like
in here.
Clemson quarterbacks, all of them. So.
Like if you had to make a football movie, you probably name your quarterback room after the Clemson Tigers.
Mm-hmm. A Trent, a Tate, and a Brock.
Yeah, that'll play.
And a couple of Chris's.
Yeah.
Talk to me
Come
now.
on now. Disney's all over it.
All over it. But no, it should be a very intriguing spring practice window from Clemson's perspective from a quarterback battle going on. Everything else, though, I got to find some optimism. That's the other reason I'm intrigued about Clemson this spring is like, where's the juice?
Yeah.
Where can I feel good about your future and immediate future?
I also wonder how true the we have 5 playable quarterbacks sentiment is because, like, we have our criticisms of Dabo Swinney. It is coaching malpractice to split one's reps when you're going to have a new quarterback regardless between 5 different guys. Like,
Oh, no,
even I
can't do
know
it.
that.
Can't do it. I would love as a content creator to be in that beat right now and imagine the pigeonholing, or not pigeonholing, the side taking we got going on with the fan base. We know this about quarterback battles. When they happen, fans got takes, and they all get into these little corridors of the fan base.
Do.
We got a JF over here and a JF over here.
It was Clemson. There was a video last week on social media where they did like a little cut up of spring practice, like first day of practice, and it's just a mashup of all sorts of plays. I think there were 5 interceptions thrown in the midst of this video.
We love it.
Yeah.
We love it.
That was
Defense
my
gonna be
immediate
nice this
takeaway
year.
of there's a whole lot of defenders catching passes.
Be careful. Defense should be ahead of offense during spring practice. Okay, all they got to do is see ball, get ball, Jonathan. We got to know where to go, so watch out.
Fair, but I'm just saying maybe be a little more selective with the clips there.
Five INTs in the first spring practice is a little wild.
Yeah,
Not good.
Didn't
To
show
put
who
it out on the
was.
socials is even wilder.
Didn't show who the quarterback was or quarterbacks.
We was blurring out faces.
No,
Who
just-
did that last year? Y'all remember that? Somebody was that
was it
Florida?
Colorado?
Is that Florida?
Tennessee.
Tennessee. That's who it was.
Yes.
Tennessee in the middle of was that fall camp or spring ball? Had to be spring ball right after
It
Nico
was
left.
spring right after Nico left.
And we got to blur out faces of quarterbacks throwing picks.
They blurred out the number.
Ah, yes. We love that. Should be interesting up there nonetheless. Now, speaking of clip farming and clip engagement, Florida Gator beat reporters, love them to death. Zach Goodall, good friend of mine, one of the best at this. They give such elite practice access to that media down there.
Yeah, they do.
That I feel like I watched Florida's entire practice today.
Good Lord,
on
yeah.
social media. So plenty to take away there. They're going to love that Tramel Jones tape. They're going to love that. Every time that kid throws a football, it's going to look beautiful. Philo, not so much. Philo, you're going to have to watch play ball. That is a ball player at the quarterback position. Should be interesting to see how that quarterback battle shakes out. We know how we kind of foresee that laying out. Only one of those guys making 7 figures, per my knowledge, and it's Aaron Philo. And that normally means you're going to be the guy playing.
All indications would lead to believe that one right there. I mean, you put in effort to make sure that you poach that guy off of Georgia Tech's roster. Your starting quarterback leaves you. Like, if you love Tramel Jones that much, if Summerall and them believed in them that much, not saying they don't believe in him, but probably wouldn't have spent all that money on a quarterback to come with Buster Faulkner.
Yeah, and there's kind of this unspoken belief last year that Buster Faulkner really, really liked Aaron Philo. Like, considered even starting him for Georgia Tech. But
Y'all see my guy? Y'all see my guy out there?
Summerall?
Y'all see my guy?
Yeah, dude, that's all you.
Whole lot of juice, baby. Y'all see my guy? Hey, he's got the fan base. They was tired of seeing Billy do this at practice, I guess.
Oh, yeah, I mean, look.
So it's all you have to be is a little bit different, and then your fan base lore.
Florida fans should love Summerall.
Oh, they do.
Because, I mean, per him, this is from this man himself, him. He said this, so it has to be true. He said that he was talking to Urban Meyer, a Florida legend. Won national titles with the Florida Gators, very elite run at the university. He said when he was talking to Urban Meyer, the whole time in his mind, all he was thinking is, I see myself. When I look at Urban Meyer, I see me. I'm talking to myself right now. So here you go, Florida fans. Urban Meyer 2.0 right now down in Gainesville, Florida.
So all jokes aside, my man was out there first drill of the day, special teams. Got to rally to the ball. Got a guy out there with a special yellow hat on doing zigzags. Everybody got a pursuit, vice the ball. Summerall back there, running around. Internet's loving it. All I could do is look at the absolute monster behind him. Did you see him? Mm-hmm. Albert Big O. Well, I'm going to call him. my man from Jack State that transferred to Florida. I don't know if y'all saw this video. Go look at it. There's a number 99 roaming around in the back. I'm like, holy shit, look at this guy. I look him up on the roster. He's a Jacksonville State transfer. Now, ain't really had much production in 2 years of college football. I think he's from Canada. Buddy, 6'7", 290 pounds, moves like a gazelle. We got to figure out if he can play football, but damn, he pretty.
Oh, yeah, that's the guy you won in the spring practice.
I lost you in Canada, eh?
Yeah, dude, get that out of here.
What if I told you he's very clearly by way of Nigeria?
Nah, I mean, you're fine.
Okay.
We'll play.
But no, I mean, to go back to the everyone loving on John Summerall, like anytime you are a staunchly different coach in a personality standpoint from a person who just got fired, the media is going to love you. Now,
was the Gator AI?
No, the Gator was real. But I mean, still, like stuff like that is like, oh, he's so different. Now, that's going to be great until Florida stops winning games or they start winning games. And either way, like it's all going to come down to whether or not he's able to win games.
It always does. It's whether or not you win. I think having the juice about you is part of the winning, though.
For sure.
Yep.
Ain't too many of these guys that are winning at a high rate in college a bunch of wet rags out there. You know what I mean?
I think we just saw a guy go 16-0 and do that.
But no, he's extremely peculiar.
Oh, yeah.
I wouldn't consider him dull. I think people around Sig think he's got that fire too.
I would put him much closer to the wet rag dull than I would the fiery running around screaming and jumping type.
Okay. Peculiar would be the word I use. I wouldn't say he's dull.
I mean, they're all unique in their own way, but he's much closer. Like, if there was a spectrum, he is much closer to the dull and very nonchalant than screaming.
I would say he's closer to Saban than he is to Malzahn, though, from the dullness. See what I'm saying? It just doesn't give you the juice publicly. We're getting dulled down. We're getting bogged down here on this one, but I get what you're saying.
Yeah.
I get what you're saying. We're staying on the Florida topic here. They already loving up some Bailey Stockton.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
They going to love some Bailey Stockton practice clips.
Well,
and some game clips. He can play some ball now. I ain't trying to shit on him.
You think that has anything maybe to do with the fact that the last time they had a white wide receiver, he was pretty good, really good football player, Ricky Pearsall.
Yeah.
Probably, making connections there.
I mean, the only thing is, like, Bailey's 5'10".
Right. Yeah, not the same player.
And Ricky's 6'1".
Yes. I'm aware.
I'm just making sure the rest of the audience know.
Right.
I know you know ball.
It's not copy-paste. Not one of those things, but hey.
One's a Z, one's a slot demon.
Yeah, exactly, for sure.
Need slot demons in this world, too.
Yeah, I mean, they should be excited about Bailey Stockton. Again, like when you already get a wide receiver with who you presume is going to be your starting quarterback in our follow, like those guys already have chemistry. Those guys have been playing together.
Speaking of their skill positions, did you see the Hezzy Kent video?
I did.
Any thoughts on this? You know mine.
Not a fan.
Yeah, do you think – so for those of you who don't know, Hezzy Kent is a 6'6", 313-pound true freshman tight end at Florida. And he runs and moves like he's 313 pounds.
Yes.
And whether or not – like I heard somebody on social media or a Florida fan in my comments today say, well, they want to play him at 270. Even at 270, like we're not going to have a very prolonged career at that position.
Yeah.
I've been well aware of Hezzy since his sophomore year at Brunswick High School. I think, and I said on Twitter today, I'm not hating on the kid. I think he is a tremendous athlete, and I think that at 6'6", 313 pounds with that raw athleticism, we probably have a $100 million future on the offensive line if we apply ourselves there. That's all.
not to compare these situations directly, but I think that they could be tied together in a sense. And I know this is two different coaching staffs, but I don't want this to be another Desmond Watson case where we're not being honest with a player probably. We're not doing the right things by him to make sure that he is instilled into the game of football for the longevity of himself.
Jonathan, there was something very weird about that Billy Napier regime where they just allowed players to be overweight. They got a 260-pound linebacker down there.
Yeah.
Why?
Yeah.
We have a 313-pound tight end. Why?
Yeah, I don't know.
Well, last year, the Desmond Watson years, we rolled with a 420-pound nose tackle, and they had that 385. Mekhi Burrow's on this roster. He's almost damn near 400 pounds.
Yeah.
Like, why? Why are we so big? And I would get it if these big players were like magic, like impactful down there, and they found a way to make it happen. But I am of the belief that this is, and so is, I don't know, the internet ragged on him today, but I'm sure everyone's told this kid, hey, we could be an elite offensive tackle prospect, and he wants to play tight end. And I even saw people like say, oh, he could be Darnell Washington. Guys, Darnell Washington doesn't need to be Darnell Washington. Darnell Washington needs to be a tackle too, especially if we're going to walk around life at 295 pounds.
That's essentially what he's doing in the league.
I know.
He's not playing tackle, but that's what he's doing.
And the more and more we expose ourselves as an athlete, the more and more we expose our knees, to be honest with you. Like, do you think Darnell Washington's going to play 10 years in the league?
Probably not.
Probably not. Do you think if Darnell Washington, his sophomore year in college, when he's fighting to be under 280 pounds, he probably would have a 15-year career at tackle? Maybe.
Could have.
Maybe.
Could have.
Maybe.
So,
I mean, he was a fantastic college
he's
tight
definitely
end,
going 10 years in the league at offensive tackle.
Yeah, I mean, certainly might have helped himself more being a tight end in college because he had the wow factor. I mean,
Correct.
and he was disciplined enough to hang around at the necessary weight for him to continue to do that.
I mean, his last year in college, he did hurdle an Oregon defender.
I mean, he hurdled multiple people.
Yeah.
So,
and he was. I felt like he played at Georgia like 277.
And there was never a situation when Darnell was in college where it was like, he's just kind of a waste of space running routes.
Correct.
Like that guy's not doing anything.
He was never plus 300 pounds in
Right.
college.
No.
Now he might walk around when he's not in his fighting weight. He might be 300 pounds today.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, look, it is what it is. We can move on there. Missouri in the midst of spring practice currently. Do we think we're going to get anything out of that quarterback room? Do we think we're going to get anything solid out of this?
What do you mean by solid?
Do we think we're going to get a lead out of Zollers or Simmons coming out of spring practice?
I would imagine Simmons is probably going to end up being the guy if I had to guess.
I would guess
Who
Simmons.
do you think's making more money?
That's a great question.
I don't know if that matters as much. Like, at a position like that, yes, you never want to waste money and never want to, burn, and that's essentially what you'd be doing if you bench one of these guys, but it's such an essential position where you have to put yourself in the best position to win. Like, it's not anything where it's like, oh, we gave this guy $1 million, but this guy's better than him. Like, I don't think that ever. So I don't know if that's going to factor into it. But I would assume that Simmons takes the job here.
More importantly, out of either one of those, I think Zollers ends up winning it if he's healthy. I think more importantly, out of that whole entire spring, they got to find weaponry outside of Ahmad Hardy, and we'll talk more about that, I would imagine, as the season comes closer and closer. Now, those are the big-time schools that are already underway. Let's talk about some schools that are nearing spring practice. The defending national champion Indiana Hoosiers are a very interesting program from the standpoint of their head coach has openly admitted he never even uses all 15 spring practices.
Yeah.
That they don't do much during the spring. So we ain't going to learn much about Indiana, I would imagine, this spring. We're not going to hear much about Indiana. We won't see much from Indiana. So,
do you think that they're just probably more so sitting in a classroom setting during this time of year?
I would imagine they're doing a shitload of walkthroughs.
Yeah.
But not an offensive system that seems all that complicated. The walking through and the making sure we're assignment aligned is all defensively
honestly,
up there, I would imagine.
It's pretty impressive that, one, that they're as good as they are without having to be as physical in practice and without needing as much practice as other programs, but also, too, like doing walkthroughs as much as it sounds like they do, keeping your players locked in at all times during walkthroughs because, I mean, all athletes go through some sort of walkthrough, whether you like whatever sports you play, but they're very boring like it's just very redundant. Like it's just very simple. Like I feel like you could just kind of literally walk through this. Like
I would imagine theirs is probably what we call whiz speed.
Yeah,
like you're probably out there moving. That's the very first thing I noticed about college when I got there. It's like, oh, helmet practices, coach. We might as well just put the damn pads on. What are we doing out here? Like this is unhealthy. Just give me the shoulder pads. I would prefer it.
right.
So yeah, even the quote unquote walkthroughs, they're teach periods, but they're
Right.
probably moving. You would imagine. I mean, good Lord, I don't know how they do it, and I don't think we'll ever get a true answer on it because all these other successful programs, they almost take it a sense of pride to open their doors to other people in the coaching profession. That place, he's openly talked about. We don't let nobody up here. Nobody's coming to figure out my sauce, basically. So very interesting. We won't learn much about them. I'm interested to stay in the Big Ten to find out how did Ohio State reload. Now, I know they have a top 3 plethora of talent. They always have. They recruit at that rate. Ryan Day's done a tremendous job of maintaining those supreme recruiting abilities that they have. But we lost a lot of dudes.
Oh, yeah.
We lost a lot of dudes on defense. I know their wide receiver core is still going to be relatively intact despite the fact that Hartline left to go to South Florida. Their top guys are still there. They're going to be all right.
They're not going to feel the effects of that till 2 or 3 seasons from now.
No, this year they'll be fine. We got to see some quarterback development. We talked about that a lot with the quarterbacks that we ranked the other day. But other than that, I'm curious to see what it looks like and what we hear about. I feel solid about the DB room. The world's going to learn about Devin Sanchez this year, I would imagine, out there at Ohio State.
And Dominic Kelly.
Oh, yeah, that's right. He's going to start for them?
I don't know if he will or not.
They'll learn about him, though.
They're going to learn about him.
Don't worry. But no, I mean, like, Ohio State's one of these programs where, yes, there are a lot of questions, and yes, there was kind of I don't want to say mass exodus, but the era that they had, the 24 national championship team, that's kind of coming to a close. There's more and more departures from that team that contributed. But at the end of the day, it is a program that reloads and rebuilds like no other, or not like no other, but at an elite
like
level.
them other ones.
Yeah. Like at an elite level. So I don't think that you're going to see that much of a decrease from it from a standpoint. But seeing how they do replace certain departures, like losing a safety such as Caleb Downs is going to be a very, very big thing to do. I mean, so stuff like that.
I think this spring they ought to give him some live pressure looks because we ain't going to get much of it during the season. Do they play a tough one this year? They play a tough schedule.
They play Texas.
Yeah,
I know that.
They have one of the tougher schedules in the
What does the
Big
Big Ten slate look like? They've had the bad shake of it the last 2 years.
They've got a really tough schedule this year.
Yeah,
Again?
they do have a tough schedule. This season, they play Illinois is their first Big Ten game of the year. Then they follow that up with Iowa. They play at Indiana, at USC. Okay. They go at Indiana, at USC, and then home versus Oregon and back-to-back-to-back.
Now, I know they're out of conference scheduling. They're doing this to themselves. But of all those Big Ten schools, they're the only school, I feel like, the last 3 years that has had one of those every single year. Mm-hmm. Like, Oregon got an easy shake last year. Indiana got an easy shake the year before that. Like, what is up? What did they do to the league office?
They got an easy shake last year.
Ohio State, that is correct.
They had Texas.
That is correct. They had Texas, but the Big Ten slate was a walk.
You beat Texas, and it was like, all right, we can coast to the regular season.
Okay. I'm glad you guys corrected me on that one because what you just rattled off sounded freaking brutal.
Oh, yeah, this schedule
rough.
is no joke this year. They got a very
And I remember their national championship year when they were 10-2. I'm pretty sure they were a top 11 strength of schedule team. So
they don't dodge smoke up there.
No, they do not.
Sure.
No, they do not. In fact, it's the other teams dodging them as of late, getting them off of the non-con slate. Speaking of a team that dodged them, didn't Alabama just cancel a home with them? Or is that Georgia?
Georgia and Ohio State have not.
Trying to transition us to Alabama, who has a quarterback battle. We presume, do we think Austin Mack and Keelan Russell are actually going to go at it? Or is this a presumed Austin Mack like thing?
I'd open it up.
I would open it up.
You definitely are. You definitely are. Who wins?
That I don't know. It's such an interesting subject to talk about for them. I'll lean Austin Mack until I'm told otherwise. Like until things start pointing towards Keelan Russell being the starting quarterback out there, I'm going to remain solid in the fact that Austin Mack will be the starter just because this is a guy that has been in the system for a while. This is a guy that Kalen DeBoer handpicked himself. Now, they didn't handpick Keelan Russell, but He's got the age advantage. He's got the experience advantage. He's got all the things going for him, where Keelan Russell's still very young and still very promising.
I watched the Rose Bowl clips from Mac. It didn't look terrible.
Yeah, it's not bad.
I gave this take before, and I'll give it again. I think that the Alabama quarterback battle is going to be dictated by what that team and what the roster around it allows them to do. If you have a very solid roster that does not need fantastic or elite quarterback play, I think you're going to probably prefer Austin Mack. Not to say he's not elite or not good. I think Keelan Russell has more of a wow factor from him that standpoint. But when you have more of a wow factor, it's more raw. There's more opportunity for mistakes. I think it's like what Jalen Milroe's offense was in 2024, where at times it looked unstoppable and other times it looked like they couldn't move ever.
If I had that defense, whoever won the job would be the most least turnover prone of the two.
I would say Austin Mack is probably your guy.
Yeah,
there.
probably going to be Austin Mack then.
We assume.
But I have
we
no
don't
idea.
know.
I don't know if Keelan Russell's
it's
turnover
mop-up duty
prone.
versus ULM Monroe. Like, we
Right.
don't know.
Right.
What we do know about him is he's immensely talented.
Very.
I mean,
They both are.
Coming out of high school, I thought he was right-handed Michael Penix. I don't know if y'all remember me talking about him.
Yeah.
That way, but that's what I feel about him. I think he is that like elite talent.
And it looks like Bama fans want it to be Keelan
Oh, there ain't no
Russell.
doubt. Well, hey,
And I get it.
They
I
know they see the
understand.
talent too, bro. They the moment he showed up on campus, the first 15 bowl practices, they show clips of him spinning it, and they're like, next year, right now.
Yeah.
Sorry, Ty. I know you're waiting for a while, but sorry. Like, it was that quick with that going on. So we'll see about what it is out there. I don't know if we'll get any type of lead or intel on that this spring. I wouldn't keep it. Even though we don't have a spring portal window, I wouldn't be naming anybody right now out there. Texas obviously added a lot of firepower this year, but the more and more I look at their roster, and this is my opinion, I could be wrong, but they feel very top-end loaded. If you look at their 2D, and now everybody is this, but they feel more of this, where what happens if one or two starters go down?
Yeah.
Like, this is everybody, but
Right.
Texas more so. Like, Texas's top starters are probably paid 3x right now what their backups are, especially offensively. So what happens if we start to lose some of that? They got to stay healthy, and obviously they got to gel this spring.
Oh, yeah. I mean, like a position group in particular, like you lose one of those starters. Like if you were to lose Ryan Wingo or Cam Coleman, you're kind of back at ground zero where you kind of were last season. It'd be a tough situation, and I hate talking about injuries like that, though. Like, maybe not sounding like we're projecting them, but it does feel that way with them, and it feels that way because everything is so pressurized for them right now. Like, you can't nobody can afford injuries this time of year or injuries in general, but it really feels like Texas can't afford one of those this season because you've done everything that you can to have this season shape up to be the one potentially.
Yeah, I think another question, this doesn't even pertain to injury. What if the talent that you've acquired and paid for doesn't deliver in return on investment? Like, we all think Cam Coleman is a top 3 receiver, and he's proven us to be that, but what if it just doesn't work out at Texas? Or what if Arch doesn't take that next step? Or what if the linebacker room is not nearly as good as it was last? Like, things like that are an even bigger concern for me because we're coming into the year thinking like, oh, the starting 22 for Texas is a guaranteed national championship contender. And there's a great chance it is, but what if it's not? We saw last year, like, the talent did not deliver at times.
The only thing I could think of is, like, last year we had multiple, I guess the term would be paper tigers. Folks who look elite on paper, and then they just fold in the middle of the season. I'm not saying they are this, but they are on paper they are a massive tiger. They look like they are. Something.
They were that last year. Texas was the
projection.
Yeah, Texas was the number 1 ranked team coming into last year.
Yeah, and I felt like a lot of that is because we all put the weight of the world, myself included, on what Arch Manning was immediately going to be. Yeah. I think it's much, much safer to know that he is going to be that now.
It does feel weird. Like, in today's era of college football, we have always learned that it's never that simple. Like, it just isn't. And that's not a knock against Texas, but there's just too many unknowns in college football. And there's too many moving pieces. And, rosters are built entirely different to where, like, it's never as simple as this team is clearly head above water than everybody else.
Let's stay in the Lone Star State, gentlemen, with the Texas Tech Red Raiders. Do yourself a favor, both of you, right now. Google Texas Tech Our Lads and then scroll down to that defense.
Oh, yeah, I've seen this.
Now, I know that Our Lads is not like the most reliable source of information at all, but at this time of the year, they will at least show you how many holes you got to fill. They won't show you how you went about filling them. I'm about to do that. But they'll show you they got a ton of holes. They got 2 or 3 positions out there. They don't even know who's going to start. They don't even have bodies in them.
Yeah.
All right. They've lost a lot. All right. That's what happens when you are a portal acquisition football program. Now, if you're a Red Raider listening to this, it's okay. You're moving your strategies more towards high school recruiting. You've done that in 2026. You've repeated, or 2025. You repeated it in 2026. You're on track to do a miraculous job in 2027. So the future stock holds are really, really strong. They will be there. But we get into this limbo period when we're trying to transition from a transfer portal team to a high school recruiting recruiting team. And I think we're about to fill that this coming year on the defensive side of the football. Guys, they took edge rushers from Kent State, San Diego State. They took defensive linemen from Wake, Miami of Ohio, Oregon State, Washington, Alabama State. Took a linebacker from Houston. They went out and pillaged the village elsewhere, okay, to make their defense whole again this year. We'll see. You know what I mean? Like, it's hard to continue to do this over and over and over again. They spent $7 million last year on the defensive line and had 3 really, really good football players in Romello Height, Lee Hunter, and David Bailey. They gone, and I don't know if this is going to be that. You know what I mean? It's hard to repeat that type of hit rate.
Yeah, I think it's good that Texas Tech is transitioning into – maybe not as focused on the high school recruiting trail as a place like Georgia, but they certainly are putting a lot of effort into it, and they're trying to get those blue-chip prospects in and keep them around and get them in early. But still 18 incoming transfers this year, and that, you know, that's the risk that you run with operating the way that Texas Tech has the last couple of years is you absolutely hit the bank last year, defensively especially, like Jacob Rodriguez and Bailey and all those guys, Lee Hunter, extremely talented football players. Well, they're gone now, so you got to replace them. You're not always going to be able to replace those guys every single year. So don't know what the season looks like for them, but it's probably not going to be what it was last year.
And we know this about them. They've got 5-star money tied up in 2 football players that I don't think are ready to play year 1. If you had to roll Felix Ojo out there year 1 at tackle, would you be holding your breath?
Wouldn't love it. No.
Do you think LaDamian Guyton is ready right now as a 17-year-old freshman to play on the edge?
Yeah, I don't like reclass.
I don't like I know he's great. He's an elite talent. 3rd down pass rush specialist, awesome. You're not playing every down as a 17-year-old true freshman. I don't believe that to be the case.
You shouldn't.
You shouldn't expect that to happen, especially not on the line of scrimmage. I get it when we have a weapon like Ryan Williams catching the football out in space. Totally different discussion. We're talking about a line of scrimmage football player doing so at 17 years old. That's a tough ask. Speaking of tough ask, who in the hell can project what LSU is about to be? 56 new football players, a brand new head coach, brand new offensive coordinator. Retain the defensive coordinator. That's great. But other than that,
don't know.
Whew.
Yeah, I mean, this is very much kind of a we're going to trust Lane Kiffin operation. We're going to trust the brand that LSU is, and we're going to trust Sam Levitt. But other than that, like, there's a lot of question marks around this team.
I trust it to a rate of 10 wins and a really, really good football team that's tough to beat every single week, specifically outscore. Do you trust it?
Trust that from that? Yeah,
what
absolutely.
I just said? I feel that's –
yeah, I mean, you trust the operation, you trust the process, and you trust what Lane Kiffin is, like the foundation that he's laying right now from an offensive standpoint. And then obviously LSU fans, you at least know what your defense is going to be. You know what it's going to look like because you've seen it the past couple of seasons. But, I mean, like worst case scenario, like what you learned at Ole Miss when – Lane Kiffin has this type of talent. Like LSU has a very talented roster. Like worst case scenario, you probably go 9-3. You may not make the playoffs, but that's like worst case scenario for them.
That is worst case scenario considering like I'm not saying they fired Brian Kelly for 9-3, but Brian Kelly went 9-3 twice and then 8-5, and then all right, get the hell up out of here.
This would be a different 9-3.
And take your $57 million too. We appreciate you.
This would probably be a very different 9-3 though. Like
fun,
Brian Kelly,
explosive 9-3.
Brian Kelly's losses were like catastrophes.
Okay,
they were. We just had a PAT blocked.
They were like losing on the road to Florida.
Yeah, like they were catastrophes where Lane Kiffin losses,
like losing at home to Kentucky.
Yeah,
they were like that bad.
Fair, but
I would attribute this to the vibe that you had in 2016. And I know we keep going back to the local hour, but the vibe you had in 2016 when Georgia went 7-5 with Kirby Smart was much more optimistic than the year before when you went 9-3 with Mark Richt.
Yeah.
Obviously, the product was still not what it should have been, and it wasn't better, but there was optimism there. There was reason to be optimistic.
Oh, chat's asking questions about 24. Don't you worry. We're going to talk 24 tonight. Unfortunately, we're getting our feet dragged to 24. Tennessee's got a quarterback battle.
Yeah.
An interesting one.
It is an interesting one.
Like look, I'm not going to sit here and act like I'm the most plugged in guy to Tennessee football that there possibly is from an intel standpoint, but I didn't hear exactly raving reviews about the first 18 months of the George McIntyre experience.
Right.
Did you?
No.
So
I mean,
it's not. I know he's there. He's been there, and I know he's the slot. He probably taking first team snaps right about now, but it's not like one of these massive gaps between these two football players, I would imagine, from their starting points.
Well, everybody, including us, has kind of just boiled this down to between Faison Brandon and George McIntyre, but I have no idea what they think about the stop kid. Like, I would imagine that they took him out of the transfer portal knowing that there was a good potential that Joey Aguilar was not going to be the starting quarterback this year.
I would take a guy like Brandon Staub out of the portal to make sure we have a veteran quarterback down there with the scout team that I can give offenses that we don't play.
Yeah.
If I'm putting together a roster and my future at the quarterback position is George McIntyre and Faison Brandon, the last thing I want them doing is on the other side of the field under center pretending to be Gunnar Stockton.
Right. Yeah.
It would be the worst thing for their development in my system. So that's why I think that's why I would bring that guy in. Mm-hmm. I don't know. He is not a starting caliber quarterback, in my opinion. The Staub kid from Colorado, he's not.
I'm not saying he is a starting caliber, but he is in the room, and I think definitely has to be mentioned in the mix here.
For sure. But malpractice. It would be malpractice to let that kid roll out there unless the other two are that bad. And if they are, scouting malpractice. Talent identification malpractice. Mm-hmm. What are we doing spending that much money on guys that get beat out by a former walk-on from Colorado?
Yeah.
So that would be my discussion around the Tennessee quarterback room this spring.
We'll see what happens.
It's gonna be one of these things where I don't know how you're gonna get an answer until week 1. Like with Tennessee, Alabama, Missouri, I could very well even see them doing the Vandy. Well, I don't know about Vandy. I could see these teams doing we're going to see what happens when these first 2 tomato cans we play and kind of rotate these guys, and then we'll get our true starter.
Absolutely. Also, to be noted about Tennessee, brand new defensive coordinator this spring getting worked in.
Jim
Knowles.
With a bunch of defensive transfers.
Mm-hmm.
They took a lot of bodies on that side of the ball. I think he took 7 DBs.
Took a bunch of DBs, took Chaz Coleman, who I think could really pay off for them.
3 Nittany Lions.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I think that was reassuring for me because I could have sworn Jim Knowles was kind of a butthole. You know, you don't volunteer to go play for a guy again if you didn't like playing for him.
No Jordan Ross, though. We learned that.
Yeah, that was nuts.
Over at LSU.
Yeah, an LSU bag be running deep.
Mm-hmm.
They was talking 24 in the chat. You want to talk about 24?
Not really, but
we don't have a
to.
choice.
If they're making me do this, I suppose.
So here's how I think this works. Now, I could be wrong, but this is my interpretation of how news gets relayed to us and forced upon us without our ability to counter it or, debate it or say, no, please don't do that. They don't really care. They're going to do it anyways. Here's how this works. They float an idea out, right? One of these commissioners gets in front of a microphone. He's like, you know what? I got an idea. And then they allow everybody to respond to that idea. And then about 6 months later, head coaches get randomly asked around the same time, what do you think about that idea that commissioner floated back a couple months ago? And then those coaches are just unanimously agreeing it in a very similar sentence structure, almost as if they've been handed the talking points. And then the third and final bullet point, they just give it to us. All right, they don't give us an option to debate it or nothing. It just happens, right? This is what happened with the 12-team expansion, going straight from 4, skipping over 8, going straight to 12. No debates, no asking, you guys want this? Nope, here it is. All right. Same thing happened a couple months ago. Tony Petitti out there at the Big Ten was like, you know what? I think we should go to 24. ESPN, write up this brilliant article about how we're going to demand that, or rather suggest that by 2029 we better be going to 24. And in that laid out how they want to go about a 24. And then all of a sudden, yesterday, Josh Heupel's asked about 24. Yeah, well, I would love to go to 24. The way the college football landscape's changing, we sure could use more opportunities. Last week, Kirby Smart asked about 24. Well, yeah, I think it's the way we should go. The way the college football landscape's changing, probably give more people opportunities, yada, yada, yada. we're going to 24. I don't know if you know this, but it's about to happen. And here's my layout of what's going to happen. I think in this ESPN reporting from several months ago that we told you about, not only did the Big Ten say that by 2029 they want to be at 24 teams in the playoff, but also they're willing to go to 16, but only under the promises that they will be going to 24 by 2029. We only got a couple of years in between that time point. So I would imagine that by 2027 and 2028, we're already moved to 16, and that by 2029, we have moved fully to 24. So here's how the Big Ten wants it to be done. We've already told you this on this network, but here it is. No more league title games under 2014 playoff. The 23 top-ranked teams will be in. No automatic selections, no automatic bids, and except for the group of 5 highest-ranked football team. They will be the 24th team in the bunch. First 2 rounds will be at home sites. We love that. Top 8 seeds will get a bye, but they'll also get an opportunity to host the second round at their home game. I did mention again that the Big Ten has agreed to go to 16 only under the promises that we go to 24. So if you see an expansion to 16, if you're one of these people that's like, hey, just stop it at 16, it ain't going to stop at 16. If it goes to 16, it's automatically at 24, which we can argue about 24. We don't like it. I don't think anybody on this stage wants it. I'm all here for the debates on that. Here's what I will ask. Can you just promise me, as the college football faithful, as those that actually fund this monstrosity, you just hardline it at 24? Please, no more.
Please.
No more. Look, we're going to spend about 10 minutes bitching, moaning, and complaining. Hardline, 24. No more. All right, that's it. I can't deal with it no more. Don't go no further.
Didn't we do this about 12?
I thought we did too.
I thought we
did too, and they just kept pushing me and pushing me and pushing me. Hey, what's also great about this is they found a way to condense the playoff under the 24-team playoff. They found a way to get 24 teams to play in a playoff before January 15th. Next year, we're playing on the 21st under a 12-team playoff. Make it make sense. It don't, Johnny.
We're going to have 8-4 teams and 7-5 teams getting opportunities to play for a national championship. It's ridiculous.
I feel the same way about college football playoff expansion as I do the automatic shut-off in cars now. Like, the manufacturers of a product don't always know what's best for the product, and they can make it sound all nice like, hey, this is going to help the environment. We're going to have your car automatically shut off when you're at a red light, when you're standing still in traffic. But what does everybody do? They turn it off as soon as you get in the car because it sucks. Oh. But they keep – and what the playoff expansion is, guys, it's more college football games. You guys wait for this all year. We're going to give you more of that, more meaningful football games, more teams in the playoff field, more people have a chance. And meanwhile – it sucks. I just want to turn it off. I don't want it to be involved anymore.
I will say this. My wife's Toyota's got this cool feature where you can hit this button, and every time you come to a light on a hill, you don't have to put your foot on their brake. It automatically holds it for you. It's like a temporary parking brake that as soon as you hit the gas, it takes it off again.
Now that
Sure, it's terrible for your transmission, but nonetheless.
Stupid. No, don't want that. Hate it.
A neat little feature.
It's not bad.
Yeah.
Better than the automatic shut-off. Ruins the timing.
Now, I think, honestly, the 16-team format that they presented is the most ideal format we've ever had in college football playoff history because it completely removes a playoff committee. It's automatic slots. I think it's 4-4-3-3-2-1. Isn't that what it is?
I think so, yeah.
Yeah. Give me that. Just remove those goofballs entirely. Yeah, give me the 4 highest-ranked SEC teams, the 4 highest-ranked in the standings, not the rankings. Give me the top 4 SEC teams, top 4 Big Ten teams. Give me 2 from the Big 12, 2 from the ACC, 2 highest-ranked, and 1 automatic.
Yeah, I mean, the rigidity,
however many it is.
The rigidity aspect of it, where there is no committee deciding who's in the playoff, is certainly the reason or the most optimal because it leaves no room for criticism. But correct me if I'm wrong. Do teams that, when you play in the college football playoff, don't teams get like a certain much larger cut of that revenue as opposed to a regular season game?
So another goofy thing about college football is every conference does this differently. Every conference makes you allot that or allows you to allot that totally differently. Like when Georgia made it, I'm pretty sure when the SEC schools make it, I'm pretty sure they have to split it evenly amongst member schools, whereas Miami got to keep all $20 million. They kept it all. And then turned around and gave $10 million of it to Duke. Basically for stealing their 2 top players.
Yes.
So every conference does this differently. What were you getting at?
I'm gonna do it.
Uh-oh.
Might have to
All right.
Shake the dust off that.
Here's
bad
my
boy.
conspiracy theory on this. We have these major conferences lobbying for this expanded playoff and all of these kind of bloated monstrosities. No one actually believes that 24 teams would be beneficial. But 24 teams is more games that you're going to be playing in the postseason, more opportunity for you to get revenue and create that for your conference. If you expand it to that, which, by the way, player acquisition's not getting any cheaper. The iron fist that's coming down saying $20 million is all you can spend, that's not happening. College football teams are just spending whatever they want now, and collectives are starting to run dry. The way that you're going to have to create revenue nowadays as a college football team is by playing in more games. And the only way you're going to play in more games is by increasing the size of the playoffs. So I think that's what's going on here. I don't think this is Kirby Smart and Josh Heupel going, yeah, 24 teams is actually what's going to be good for college football. I think behind closed doors are going, this is the only way we can make money to pay for the players that we need right now. That's my theory on this.
To counteract donor fatigue, we expand our product.
I mean, that would make the most sense to me.
Not a bad take. Worth the tenfold for sure.
Yeah.
Worth the tenfold.
Yeah, I mean, it makes sense, but ultimately,
We know the bottom line is all that it is money.
Right.
Whether we want to make a theory about it, whether we want to put that, we know why they're going to 24, so they can sell more TV games.
Well, and if we do end up just going to a Super League, none of that really matters in the end of it, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
If it just boils down to...
Oof, we forgot to add that into what we heard up in Indy.
Oh, yeah.
Remember all that talk? People going here and people going there?
Yeah.
Who's going to what?
Now,
Yeah.
in fairness, a lot of that was speculation.
A lot of that was speculation, but
But
we were like,
it was speculation from a credible place. It
Extremely.
It wasn't like, hey, these are the plans. It was,
yeah, no.
Let's just put it this way. The teams that you think probably get screwed in a Super League aren't the teams that are going to end up getting screwed in a Super League. Just put it that way.
We rank non-quarterback playing players today on the show. Jonathan and I. How do y'all like this as an audience, by the way? We've been taking a slight break from film studies, applying our studying of film into our rankings. I think we're one of the best player rankings outlets that there is, but we're not very good at it from a sense of we don't rage bait enough. I don't think there's enough in there that makes people mad enough.
I feel grimy.
Rage baiting?
Not rage baiting. When it's like, we could put this player on here to maybe stir something up. I hate it. I don't like how that feels. I don't like it.
You just play it straight up.
I
Just
would
talk
much rather
real
do that.
Ball. So here's how we did it today. And chat, go ahead, start voicing your opinions. If you're watching right now and you did not watch our sub episode, it's okay. We're going to give you a brief rundown. But normally, when we talk about these things in the live show, it's more of the already criticism that we've already received, the pushback that we've already received. We address that more so than the actual rankings that we have. We address the rankings that we have in the sub episode. That's why you should watch it. Number 1, Jeremiah Smith. Number 2, Malachi Tony, followed by Kewan Lacey and Colin Simmons. Number 5, Ahmad Hardy. Number 6, Leonard Moore, the cornerback from Notre Dame. Number 7, Dylan Stewart, the edge rusher from South Carolina. Number 8, Zabian Brown, the corner from Alabama. Number 9, Damon Wilson, the edge rusher now at Miami by way of Georgia and Missouri. Number 10, Brandon Fitting Jr., the cornerback out of Oregon, who I watched for about 30 minutes in his first film study we ever watched of Oregon. It was like, wow, Oregon's got a true freshman that's a first-round draft pick. That's cool. He's really, really good. Now, the OLIs that we talked about in the episode, Latsir Brooks, David Stone from Oklahoma, Cam Coleman, the wide receiver at Texas, Cooper Barkate, the wide receiver that led the ACC in receiving, now down at Miami by way of Duke, Coy Parrish, a 5-star coming out of the state of Minnesota, played first 2 years with the Gophers, and is now the Dylan Thieneman replacement out there at Oregon. Now, here's where we failed our audience. No Mark Fletcher Jr.
I don't think that's a failure.
I think
it's a failure.
I think Mark
He's a really good back.
He's a really good back, but he's not Ahmad Hardy or Kewan Lacey.
No, and I think a lot of what Mark Fletcher's hype has come from is what he did in the college football playoff, which was spectacular, but I think a lot of that is revisionist history of like, oh yeah, Mark Fletcher closed out the season with a bunch of really good games. Like I think it'd be the equivalent of watching Arch Manning's last 6 games and be like, oh, he's the best quarterback in college football, hands down. No argument.
What list is this? This is top 10 returning players that don't play quarterback. People saying Latsier Brooks on this list, crazy. Y'all didn't watch Latsier Brooks last year. Latsier Brooks is going to be, in my opinion, the best receiver at Alabama this year.
I think what it revealed to me doing this list is that there's a lot of really good corners in college football right now.
We got some more misses. But, yeah, there are a lot of good corners.
DJ Pickett didn't make this list.
Nope. Dejan Lee didn't make this list.
Dejan Lee did not make this list. Mm-hmm. Ellis Robinson did not make this list. Like, there's some really good defensive backs in college football right
Christian
now.
Gray
did not make this list.
There's a lot of great corners in college football.
Devin Sanchez didn't make the list.
Devin Sanchez didn't make this. He hadn't played yet,
right,
a lot of snaps yet. I don't think it's warranted. That would be like putting Elijah Griffin on this list, in my opinion. Xavier Atkins was a miss from an OLI standpoint. That guy's really, really good. Number 17 for that Auburn linebacker core. And the way that DJ Durkin used him was phenomenal this year. He's going to be great again this year out there at Auburn. He was an omission on my part, as was Jaden Baugh. I mean, Lord knows I've spoken Jaden Ball's praises enough on this network. Some Georgia folks giving me some shit for no Gabe Harris, no Quintavious Johnson, and no, of course, Nate Frazier.
Chris Cole.
KJ
Bolden. Those are the names that got me thrown around. I think that the way to talk about that to Georgia fans of why isn't there a dog on the list is there are a lot of players on Georgia's roster that can be that this year, that can develop into that this year.
I mean, there's a dozen that would argue their way 12 to 35 on this list. If we extrapolate it all the way to the 50s, like I think Georgia would have more members in a top 50 list if we extrapolated it out than any other school. They're a deep football team. They've been this for 2 years, I feel like. Been a really deep football team.
Yeah. I mean, there's always, it's kind of the Georgia thing to be the no-name team.
Correct. That's what I mean. Not necessarily deep, but
there's not the one star on the – there never has been. Now, there's been 4 or 5 first-round draft picks at times, but –
is Trey'Dez Green as good as LSU fans think he is?
I've never when I've watched LSU play, I think he's good, but
misused.
I don't think maybe that's what it is. Might be misused.
We know Lane's going to do some work with tight ends.
Oh yeah,
Trey'Dez Green on a shallow cross is going to feed families this year.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So there's that. Any other misses? Chat, help us out here.
I don't think
there's other misses.
I don't think there's a ton of egregious misses.
No, there was a lot of my guy's too low. A lot of that, but your guy was on there.
Yeah.
There's 1,000 meaningful college football players, and we rattled off a top 10. I think it's a really, really solid one.
Yeah, I would say so too.
That people saying 3 corners over Ellis Robinson. Yes, the 3 corners that were on that list have better, more consistent tape at this point than Ellis Robinson, as they do DJ Pickett, by the way, as they do Dejan Lee, in my opinion.
And I think the emphasis is on at this point.
Correct.
If you're a Georgia fan and you think that Ellis Robinson, KJ Bolden, Nate Frazier, all of these have reached the penultimate of their abilities. That's honestly an insult to them.
Let Ellis Robinson stack 14 games the way he played the last 4 games of the season last year. And then, Ellis Robinson is going to be discussed in this realm of cornerbacks, in this realm of players in college football.
I think there are 2 players on this list that are unanimous top 10 selections for me. And it's Jeremiah Smith and Malachi Toney.
Oh, yeah.
And everybody else kind of is fighting for 3 through 10.
Yeah, do whatever you want with the rest.
I mean, you and I were talking about it on the show, or the sub-episode. The idea that Jeremiah Smith and Toney I think they're that close. That's crazy to me. It's a testament to how great Toney was just in year 1. And we debated it during the show. I don't know if you had a chance to watch it, Christian. Who does more? Because I would argue that Toney does more. Now, Jeremiah Smith tilts the field a little bit more because he plays X, but the amount of ways that Toney impacts winning. And we talked about it as a true freshman. That guy had meaningful, impactful touchdown-type plays as a punt returner and a kick returner.
Right.
He did so as a receiving threat. He did so as a rushing threat. And he did so as a damn passing threat
I think from an overall threat, you definitely would say Malachi Toney is the more – I don't want to say well-rounded, but a more threatening player to have, a better weapon to have on your offense. But Jeremiah Smith's still Jeremiah Smith.
Oh, for sure. If we go into a draft in a vacuum, we take Jay Smith 1 and then Malachi Toney 2. But, man, it's from a college football perspective, it's hard not to say, hey, we got to go win a game on Saturday in a college football environment. Which one of these guys you take? I might take 10. I know that sounds crazy. But, dude, if I only get one, I know I can find more ways to win. If I take Jeremiah Smith, I kind of have to have a halfway decent quarterback.
Stop the cap. Come on, bro.
What?
Malachi Tony is great.
He's great.
He is great.
He's great.
I would take him right after Jeremiah Smith.
Okay.
This guy is the only player in like football history since Julio Jones to be properly comped to Julio Jones. Only guy that has ever been like, hey, that's justifiable. We're okay with that.
Okay.
Right? Love Malachi Tony. No disrespect.
All right.
It's Jeremiah Smith, dog.
You know, I tried. The boys
you made a good
down.
argument, but I just, like.
Every once in a while, you got to take the odd man out argument and try to fight it. I mean, you're well versed in this.
Yeah.
The difference in it is when I disagree, I believe in what I'm saying.
I think he believes that, though. I think he somewhat believes that.
I do believe Malachi Tony
like we discussed it this morning.
Is a really, really impactful transcendent talent.
Fantastic.
Yeah. I'm just saying, I think it's a lot closer than people make it out.
Sure,
yeah.
That's fine. That. I'm fine with saying that. I think Jeremiah Smith is still the best player.
And by the way, he's got better hands than Julio. I know it sounds crazy. Julio made some circus-ass catches. Julio also drop a random ball every once in a while.
Jeremiah Smith will drop a random ball. Go watch that Texas game.
Okay.
Tell him, Kirby. Tell him.
It's a bad day for Atlanta lore.
It's always a bad day. It's a bad day. Brother, it's 365.
Brother.
Every day.
Brother.
I do this for a living. I signed up for this.
I feel like there was some news on the notes today that we didn't hit.
Mark Stoops is joining Texas' staff. Texas. The reason I put this in the notes is because I've seen assistant, I've seen, analyst, I've seen so-and-so. His title is special assistant.
So
what the hell is that?
Here's what I keep getting hammered home every time this happens. This only happened twice, right? Why in the hell did you fire a defensive coordinator at a top 17 defense to hire Will Muschamp? That immediately in the revolving press conference of, well, he's the head coach of the defense. I don't have to go over there no more. That lit off fire alarms in my head of, wait a minute, Steve Sarkisian had to do defensive quality control last year as a head coach. That's not good because he's also calling plays. I know we talked about that when he had the press conference about hiring Will Muschamp. This addition as well was like, okay, he clearly wants nothing to do with that defense. He wants to have all of his mind and all of his attention focused on the offense, which, by the way, he should. He should have all of it. If he's going to maintain that he wants to call plays, and he probably should because he's never going to hand it off to somebody he thinks is as caliber of a play caller as he is. That's fine. I'm in agreement with that. However, you can't touch shit on that defense. You can't have any of your mind or any of your energy going to anything defensively. So you better have a well-rounded football staff on that side of the football, even if it costs you $10 million to build your defensive staff, which is about what it's cost.
Oh, yeah. It is across the board. There has never been a football program more evident in like my lifetime, I would say, than Texas in regards to this is it. Like 2026, this is the year that we are like. There's not going to be a single hole. There's not going to be a single stone that we didn't turn over. There's not going to be anything that we didn't do that will result in this season being a failure. Like there's no shortcomings. We did everything we could. If it wasn't meant to be, it wasn't meant to be.
Should be known every time on this platform we talk about how much money Texas has spent. Everybody from Texas wants to tell me they ain't spending no money. Save your DMs. It's all good. It's all good. Save them. We're good.
Like what? Do people still do that? Like, is there still that pride of like we're not?
Yeah, I got a bro. I'm calling you tomorrow. DM about a week ago.
Come on, guys.
I didn't get the phone call.
I think like this. So. This was a viable argument to have in the days of old when paying players was illegal and that was considered openly cheating.
Yeah.
And to some degree, it's still frowned upon to spend $45 million on a roster. I get it's technically outside the rules. No one's enforcing it. We live in an era of college football where if you spend the most money, you should have the most talented players. If you have the most talented players, you should win the most games. There's no reason to hide from that. Let's not pretend like Steve Sarkisian out here just pulled a master class in recruiting. Yeah. Like they spent a lot of money. They acquired a lot of talent.
Save me on the Austin's a beautiful city. I know it is. I've been there. I enjoy my time in Austin every single time I'm there. Save me that one. I get told that way too often. And like you mentioned, like I don't think there's any shame in this. Like guys, you're one of like 3 or 4 teams that have spent a shitload of money entering 2026. Texas Tech's got a bunch. LSU's got a bunch. You guys got a bunch. There's a bunch of teams out here that are spending much money, not just Texas. Okay, so we don't mean to say it like a demeaning thing. The defensive structure, though, is I would love to peel the curtain back on 2025 Texas football and find out how much Sark felt like he had to go over there and fix.
Yeah, that was
because it sure as hell sounds like he had a lot to do.
Very peculiar, I should say.
Mm-hmm. We good?
Mm-hmm.
I'm down to short the national hour and give the local folks
elongate the local hour.
What them Hoop Dogs doing?
They're gonna win, pretty sure.
They don't beat the Tide. Hoop Dogs.
Number 16 ranked Tide going down inside the Steg. We might lead the local with it on the other side of the break.
Welcome into Talk the Dog, the show where we find a bone to pick and a take to give. These are not hot takes. These is dog takes. Can I talk that dog? What's up? Really like that. You really like that? Let's shut up and grab some tape.
What is up, ladies and gentlemen? Welcome back to the Film Guide Network here for a loaded local hour. We got calendar layout for you guys. Going to let you know all the pivotal dates coming up in this lovely, and I mean glorious off-season that is college football's off-season. We also off-season goals by position tonight on the local hour. We're going to go through all of those. Might play a little name game. We'll see. We'll introduce that to the audience potentially here on the local hour. Maybe play a UGA game.
Oh,
brought to you.
UGA game in the local hour?
Brought to you by one Discord member.
Simmer down.
That's how I'm talking about it. Patreon.com/Brooks Austin if you want to join that Patreon and Discord that we have over there. But boys, get the ticker ready. I got breaking news.
Breaking news.
I got breaking news.
The Hoop Dogs are going dancing?
Well, that too. Hoop Dogs going dancing 2 years in a row.
First time since the early 2000s.
I mean, where that Mike White extension at?
He got it. He already got it.
He already got it. Double down. I need it.
Double down.
Mike White for life.
Make him the highest paid in college basketball.
Hey.
Mike White, I need my bread. Bring me my money. How about them Hoop Dogs? But no, that's not what the breaking news is.
Okay.
I got breaking news. Boys, today I got my scouting list. I got my scouting list of every football player in the state of Georgia that I need to lay my eyes on in the 2027, 2028, and 2029 recruiting classes. All the way down to 2029. I got dudes.
2029?
I got a list of dudes.
Oh, my God, dude.
You want to hear some rundowns?
Makes you feel old. Let's hear them.
7 players. Now, I'm not going to go into their scouting grades. Okay, you guys have seen them. Y'all know what they are. We have 7 players in the state of Georgia that the University of Georgia thinks are really, 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 really elite football players. Now, you want good news or bad news?
I want the bad news.
What's the bad
Get
news
it out
with
the way.
this?
Bad news is, of the 7, 5 of them are in 2028.
Oh, good Lord.
Oh.
Okay? Good news, there's 7 of them.
Oh.
I ain't never seen 7 of them. Normally it's like 3 or 4, and they're scattered across 7 high-end football players, elite football players. Let's talk about them. You want the 28s or the 27s first?
27s.
27s. You know the edge rusher out of Blessed Trinity, David Jacobs
yeah.
Jr. He's committed to Ohio State for now. Now
We'll see what Larry Knight has to say about that.
we'll see what Larry Knight's got to say about that. We'll see what Coral Gables got to say about that. We'll see what Phil Knight's got to say about that.
Oh, yeah.
We'll see about what everybody got to say about that. That's a very, very highly talented football player that's got many suitors, as does 2027 hybrid combo defensive back Chance Gilbert out of East Coweta. I got to go see Chance Gilbert this spring. Been very aware of him for quite a while down there at East Coweta in Fayette County, Georgia. Those are the 2027s. You want the 2028s?
No. End the segment.
Kevin Hartsville from Newton High School.
Wait, his name's Kevin Hartsville?
Yeah, Hartsville.
Pretty sick.
Hartsfield, excuse me. Kevin Hartsfield out of Newton High School. He's a running back. We're going to get our eyes on him. Now, this is a football player I'm going to have to see because no offense to Asa Wall, but you're a 2028 commit at the tight end position at the University of Georgia, and you're 6'2.5". We're gonna have to find out what they know.
Committed last year.
I'm talking about early.
Gave him the green light.
Greenlit this kid from day one when he said, "I want to be a dog." We're gonna have to find out what that's all about. As again, 6'2.5".
It's got to be one of the more incredible personal evals, like if you go and watch him, because when I watched his huddle cut up last year, we're playing running back, we're playing tight end,
all over the field.
We're playing middle linebacker. He's doing everything.
Again, when you're a 20, because he was a like freshman year offer. This kid's had an offer for a long, long time at Georgia, and normally when you do that, you're already like 6'5". You're already like massive. He's not. So I got to go figure out what this is all about. I would imagine he's just an elite football player. Speaking of which, they call this one Superman already. That's his nickname.
Wow.
Casey
Right.
Barner at McEachern.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
He was the one that popped off in the Corky Kell, right?
Yeah, but we were already on this channel behind closed doors, maybe comping him to somebody that might be a first-round draft pick this year. It's Caleb Downs. He feels like Caleb Downs. He feels like it's going to be something that crazy. Now, does he have the football acumen that Caleb has? I have no idea. But he looks just like him, okay? But we're talking about a football savant with Caleb Downs from a high IQ standpoint. A corner out of Hebron Christian, Jaleel Goley, Goley,
Right down the
a
road.
2028 cornerback that we got to get eyes on. Jaden Taylor. Now, I don't know how in the hell a player this caliber was down there at Carver Columbus and I didn't see him, which makes me believe he might have transferred in relatively recently. Jaden Taylor is a 2028 linebacker that they have high aspirations and high hopes for. Now, how about some teams? Okay, always some spots that are must-have spots based off the number of players that Georgia's apparently interested in or at least evaluating. 5 players at Douglas County High School that we're going to get eyes on. 5 players at Gainesville High School. 5 players at Lee County High School down there.
Damn.
And 5 players at Rabun Gap. Now, Rabun Gap plays outside of the GHSA, but they are technically an in-state school. That is a boarding school up there. Most Georgia fans will remember that's where Bo Walker finished his high school career because he wasn't eligible at Stockbridge after his head coach left at Cedar Grove, transferred improperly to Stockbridge, was ruled ineligible for the GHSA, and went and finished playing high school football up at Rabun Gap. So, a lot of dudes up there. 7 2029 football players.
Jeez.
7.
Lord.
These all 7 of them already hold a Georgia offer. These are rising sophomores. So these guys played as true freshmen in high school football and well enough to get a Georgia offer, one of which got one before he even played a high school snap, and that is Landon Gee.
Dudes can't even drive in the car without their mom in there.
Nope. They don't even have a learner's permit. Yeah.
Dude.
Landon Gee, offensive tackle from Milton. He one of them ones. He's going to be a 5-star, guaranteed. You know who he's going to get comps to? He's going to get Monroe Freeling comps. I'm already preparing you for that. Jordan Peacock out there at Walton already has a Georgia offer. Zaquan Dozier.
Ooh.
Zaquan
Sign me up
Dozier
already.
out of Taylor County has a Georgia offer. Ja'Cory Shockley
Oh, come on.
out of
Come on.
McEachern, a Georgia offer. Tatum White out of Heard County, a Georgia offer. And Zachary Watts out of Carver,
What a name.
Georgia offer.
What a name.
And
class.
CJ Cipher,
Oof.
a Georgia offer out of Carrollton. That's a quarterback.
You know, I don't know what parents were doing in 2010.
Cooking.
But the trendy names in 2010
They're
were
cooking with the
absolutely
names.
chef's kiss.
These are kids born in 2010.
Yeah, they'd be, if they're 2029, they'd be like, maybe 2011. You'd be 18
Damn,
when you
dude.
graduate. Yeah.
Now, it's a new list. These are players I'm intrigued by. You ready for this list? Mm-hmm. Keenan Verkerk. Keenan Verkerk is a 6'7", 330-pound offensive tackle at East Paulding. I'm going to get an eye on Verkerk. Elijah Tillman, a 6'6.5" edge rusher at Grayson High School. Now, I would have seen Elijah last year, but he was hooping, AAU hooping. So he's like might say he's like the next. He would give me a hoop reference. I can't remember. It was a big time name. I think he said Julius Peppers. I think that's what he gave me the name of. Yeah.
That's an old pool.
So hopefully this spring he's not playing ball. Hopefully we're playing football this spring. That would be ideal. This was going to pique your interest. Chavez Dixon.
Man.
Chavez Dixon's at Lee County. Chavez Dixon is a 2027 Ole Miss commit. Chavez Dixon's 6'3". I bet this dude's a road grader. I bet he mauls people. If you've ever watched Lee County High School practice football, you know what I'm talking about. I can't wait to see Chavez Dixon. And I want to see Asa Wall. We already talked about it.
Yeah.
I want to see Asa Wall. 6'2.5", 238-pound tight end commit. I bet he's an absolute ball player. You ever been to Toombs County, Georgia?
I have.
Through it, I think.
Toombs County is I think they're 2A public now. Toombs County's got about 38 players at practice when you go out there. Toombs County apparently has a 6'5", 315-pound defensive tackle that I bet looks like a monster at Toombs County practice.
Yeah, dude. Amongst 35 people, the odds that there's going to be multiple 6'5" ones there.
How about this?
Not very big.
There are 3 Power 4 football players, okay? 2 of them, I believe, on my Georgia list. I got another list from another SEC school. There's a 3rd player down there at Toombs County. Toombs County, a 2A public school in South Georgia, has 3 Division I football players on it. Watch out. Chat talking about Adrian Cole. That's a football player I've been on for a minute. Interested to see him again this spring. How about this one, guys? If I told you there was a 5'9.5", 165-pound player that has a Georgia offer, what do you think that tape looks like?
He runs a 4.1.
Hey, Jonathan, do me and the chat a favor and pull up Sean Green from Camden County, and let's take a peek at this. Because, 5'9.5", 2027. This ain't no freshman. This is a rising senior that has a Georgia offer at 5'9.5", 165 pounds. I haven't watched it, but I bet this tape is absolutely bonkers. So let's go watch it together. Do you got it pulled up for me, Jay?
Just waiting for an ad.
Huddle's still bagging up a check on me right now, huh?
Oh, yeah.
That's crazy.
Good thing we don't have camera 1 right now. Oh, you're off screen. You got to come back in a little bit.
All right, let's take a look at it. Sean Green out of Camden County High School. Hey, who's played at Camden County that is a Georgia Bulldog? Ooh, there's 2 of them.
Yes.
Hold on, we got to play this.
Elias, right?
Bing.
Elias is one of them.
Bing. You got another one?
I can envision it right now.
Oh, man, they played on the same high school team.
Yes.
I'm bad at remembering high schools.
I met his future head coach at the game scouting him. Jamarlee Riddle is a Camden County alumnus. So there you go. Also a quarterback that came to Georgia. Maybe not Bryce Ramsey. Anyways, there was a quarterback out of the Camden County region that came to Georgia a while back. Oh, yeah.
Checks out.
Yeah, we got the go-go juice.
Got to fly.
Oh, out here, I bet we run a slant.
I bet, yeah.
A little square in. Oh, back hip. We love that. Oh, we're wide choicing out here, huh? Okay.
Damn, just didn't know.
It was Bryce Ramsey.
How about that? Ball knower. Ooh, a little double move. We got some short area quickness. I love the spat, too.
He doesn't look that short.
No, he doesn't. Oh. Ooh! Wow, we were up in the air for a minute right there.
So is this... Hey, Zachariah Branch worked really well for us. Let's see if we can get another one of these.
I don't know. I think this is, that Brennan
what
Thompson.
A ball.
Yeah, that Brennan Thompson guy sure gave us some shit, you know?
Yeah.
Hang
on, filthy.
Filthy. Oh, double move. A little sluggo right there. We didn't get the ball. This also strikes me as somebody who came to camp and just absolutely
despite the stature,
work.
they sure are throwing quite a few 50-50 balls as well.
Yeah, I'm trying to figure out where this Q came from, too.
Yeah, the Q's impressing me, honestly, just as much.
Mm-hmm. Oh, fake screen. That's the old Texas fake bubble. We got a scrimmage game right here. This is against Benedictine. There's LaDamian Guyton. Okay.
I mean, he's definitely got the juice.
I was expecting just a tad bit more. I'm not gonna lie to you. But man, it's explosive. All right, that is my rundown on those. We'll end up probably seeing north of 40 schools again this year, so that'll be fun. Might have news on that front.
News?
Maybe. I do a lot of traveling.
Yes, you do.
I see a lot of areas of the state of Georgia. I could be used like a rolling billboard of sorts. I mean, how many people with a platform the size of ours are going to see every corner of the state over the next 6 weeks?
Probably not anybody.
Just thought, for those inquisitive minds out there. Did I lay that on thick enough?
I think so.
If you want to sponsor the tour, hit me up. All right. Where should we go next, boys? We actually had notes that you guys were prepared for. Y'all weren't ready for the breaking news.
Let's say, since we're kind of talking about the tour, you might as well just go straight into the calendar.
Let's do it. We got some important dates coming up. We had one set officially today. Is that public knowledge? Do we write articles about that? Is that public knowledge? Pro Day?
Yeah, there's articles out.
Pro Day set?
We did one, right?
I didn't set an article for it, but I've got it prepped.
Okay.
Like I didn't publish it.
Because we got confirmation of a soft date launch today, March 18th. So we got about 15 days
here's what we'll say.
Before Georgia's Pro Day.
Here's what we can do to avoid being like, hey, you weren't supposed to tell people that. Georgia's Pro Day almost always is around the time they start spring practice.
Yes.
And the spring
Correct.
practice dates have been publicly released. So we'll do it that way.
The public header I got today had big bold letters Pro Day date. So I think we're okay.
Okay.
I think we're all right. But more importantly, I have my first college visit this Friday.
Ooh. Mm-hmm. Now, remind me, you don't disclose where you go.
No. You ain't going to get shit up out me.
You'll just come in one day with a new pullover or a polo and be like, I guess you went to that.
3 months from now, I'll lay it on that I was somewhere.
Initially, it's not that heavy-handed.
The big boys I don't wear though. There's a couple of hoodies in the office that we don't rock on public terrain, if you will. Coaches get a little finicky on that. But yeah, we got a couple this year. We're gonna go exploring around the college football space. So we got that Friday, and then I'll be driving back Saturday morning, crack o' dawn, to get to the Elite 11 regionals here in Atlanta. Very curious to see who shows up there. I would venture to say maybe Trey Taylor stayed in Atlanta for an extra week. Maybe. There's probably not. He's out in Nebraska now playing high school football. I don't think there's a Nebraska regional for the Elite 11. So if he's going to Elite 11, probably going to have to do so here. I saw him this past weekend look pretty good, the Nebraska commit. We'll see what the rest of the lot looks like there. No in-state commits or no in-state targets for Georgia at the quarterback position in 27 other than Kareem Hewley. Yeah. At this point, the kid from Gainesville committed to Clemson. So we'll see what that lot looks like. More importantly, the next day, the opening. I mean, there are a boatload of Power 4 football players in the state of Georgia in 27 and 28. As we just laid out for you guys, most of those guys, the high-end dudes, are supposed to be competing at the opening this weekend. So should be a good one. We'll be out there Saturday and Sunday at Carrollton. And then not immediately, but a couple weeks after that or a week after that, Georgia should be starting spring practice.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Around the 17th is what we're projecting.
Correct.
And that's the first day just in helmets, acclimation period, pro day the next day.
All right.
They're what don't they practice Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday during the spring?
Can I ask you something?
Come on.
If the NCAA can't really enforce paying absorbent amount of money for players to poach them, why are teams still following the acclimation period? From a lawsuit standpoint?
There you go. That right there.
But what about
lawsuits on medical lawsuits too.
Yeah.
Not are you tampering with our shit lawsuits.
That's fair.
Okay?
I answered my own question.
Yeah. You start talking about HIPAA, it's a little bit different. So that's why. But no, great question. More importantly, why the hell are you following rules about time constraints and actual number of practices?
Yeah.
If dudes can play without eligibility from the NCAA and go on to win a national title, why are you only practicing 15 times in the spring? Why aren't you practicing 30 times in the spring? What are they going to do? That's what I would be more stretching on than anything else.
But no, the acclimation period makes sense. I answered my own question.
Absolutely. And then Georgia's pro day tentatively scheduled for the 18th.
Tentatively. Unconfirmed by sources.
Be a good opportunity to see Noah Thomas.
Yeah.
And Ja'Cory Thomas.
Yep. Cash Jones.
Probably going to vert really well. Would imagine we're going to broad jump really well. Maybe run really well.
Who do we think's going to have the moment this? Like last year was obviously Chas Chambliss in his
Ryan Puglisi.
You think he's going to want to be the one throwing?
It's about that time we dust him off in a pro day setting.
Oh, so you think Ryan Puglisi's going to be?
Hey, a little hot take, little breadcrumb right there for the audience.
Okay,
I'd like to see it. I know the NFL would, buddy. You talking about a dude that'll blow your socks off his shorts and a T-shirt. That guy. Just watch his clips of him throwing in the offseason. It is insane. There's few better arm talents in the world than Ryan Puglisi. So I'd like to see it.
Oh, yeah.
Selfishly.
It would be great to see.
I know chat would like to see it. Boy, it'd do some YouTube views.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
Oh, yes.
Be cutting that up in the middle of pro day. But, yeah, that'd be interesting to see. After that, should be getting the first scrimmage around the first weekend of, what is that, April?
Yeah.
That's the Saturday before Easter.
Yeah.
For those who celebrate.
So
That's not a public open.
How many of these are going to be open to like glory people?
I don't know if it's all of the scrimmages,
And
but it's
by the
at
way,
least one of them.
I pay $20 a month because why not? Do I get to go? Because I know some of my constituents and competitors are probably going to wear a tight hat and walk up in that joint. May or may not have happened in years prior. So just a question for anybody out there listening. I pay my dues. Nothing. Silence.
I don't know how to respond to that without, I mean,
you did kind of just out yourself.
How?
I was be like, I'll pull up to that.
I'll be there.
I'm going to pull up.
I'll be there.
I mean, I'm not trying to be malicious with my intents.
I'm
very forthcoming with them.
I think you could just be like, I'm a glory member. I just want to see the team. I'm a fan.
You think I could successfully play dumb?
Yeah, you could try.
Football brain.
I think I could pull it off.
Oh, I'm sorry. I don't know where I just want to see the team practice.
Scrimmage 2 about a week later on the 11th,
Yep.
we think. And then G-Day, the 18th.
Yep.
Is that Masters weekend?
No, it is not.
Lovely.
Masters weekend is the week after the first scrimmage.
And then a week after G-Day, the NFL draft starts.
Yep, that's the end of April.
And then that weekend, the NFL draft ends.
Correct.
Yeah.
And then is there really a 3-month dry spell?
Yeah, that is when you are deprived of football the most.
Again, this is why I do not like spring, because it's like you get all these stories, you get all these clips, you get all this access. You're like, I feel like football's coming back, and then 3 months of nothing. You're in the desert until SEC media days.
But that's way better than going February through majority of August with nothing. It's way better.
I mean, yeah, like I'm happy it's there, but it is kind of like oh my god. It's like it's the epitome of when you go to a restaurant and they bring the appetizers out, and then it's another 30 minutes before the food comes. It's like I got excited to eat, now I have to wait even longer for it. This is ridiculous.
The guy talks like he eats appetizers.
I do eat a good dude. I like a good appetizer. Now, it depends on what the appetizer is, but
The loaded potato wedges weren't bad.
They were pretty good.
Yeah.
what were those?
Don't worry about it.
Potato skins.
Potato skins.
Were not wedges. They were skins.
You're right.
I must have not been.
It's an important correction.
I must
You
have
had important things to do, apparently.
The wedge doesn't have as much of the crevasse to stuff
Yes.
the skin with.
Was this in Arizona?
No, this
No.
was last week.
This is an Indy.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Didn't want to hang with the boys.
I was working out.
Shame.
Had to get my lift in.
So can't wait to go to Tampa this year.
Yeah.
At SEC Media Days.
Mm-hmm.
That'll be fun.
At least the weather will be nice.
How close is Gruden's place to Tampa?
I have no idea.
Isn't it located in Tampa? Do you think we can get a 90 minutes with Gruden? Just like watch some tape. Just me and him.
You think?
We
Yeah.
go watch some tape.
Honestly, it's a possibility.
If there was a person that would happily say yes to, hey, you want to watch some ball? I think John Gruden would be one of the more likely people to do that.
I might try to set that up while we're down there.
That'd be pretty sick.
All off the record.
Mm-hmm.
Just like, hey, just watch some ball. Heck yeah, man.
Oh, so not content for YouTube, just to
No, just me and him.
No, we ain't got the
Just go
whole
watch
man
some ball.
out.
Yeah. I mean, you can put it on your platform if you want, Coach. That's fine.
Just
I like that.
instill the knowledge.
Yeah, theft by association. Beginning of regular season, September 5th.
There we go.
Beginning of fall camp, probably 30 days before that.
Yeah, probably about
Probably
that.
looking-
Obviously, they're not
Probably
gonna,
looking August 5th.
Yeah, they're not
early
going to give the
August.
official dates for that. But
Report late July. It's a lot of downtime, man.
Yeah, there is.
I'm not looking forward to it.
But we get spring ball soon. That'll be fun.
We do get spring ball.
Like I said, I'm very thankful for it, but I also do not enjoy it.
All right, speaking of the offseason, we got some goals by position. We'll start with the quarterback room. We'll start on the offensive side of the football. I think we've talked ad nauseum and almost overblown already here early March the areas of growth that we need to see from Gunnar Stockton. But just to summarize it really quickly, we need to see more big-time throws and more comfort from the pocket. All right, we know we're a playmaker. Let's become a true passer of the football. I think that's where we need to continue to grow, is in the passing department. Now, the more important aspect of this room from a development and growth standpoint this offseason is whether or not Ryan Puglisi can play mop-up duty cleanly in 2026. I think that's the most important thing for the future of the room. Can 12 play clean when he gets the opportunity to do so? We don't know what it's going to look like behind closed doors.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
We have no idea. He's going to have to, clean up things behind closed doors that we don't even know about. But when we see you in action, I can't have an interception like we saw against Kentucky next year.
No, it needs to be the way Carson operated in cleanup duty during the 2022 season, where there were very clear moments of this guy is going to be able to play starting quarterback at the University of Georgia. Like, by the end of the season, we should be able to create a highlight cut-up of Ryan Puglisi from the 2026 season leading into the 2027 season. That's what it should be like.
Now, I will add a caveat to this because this is something that's out of Ryan Puglisi's control and frankly, a lot of the staff. Georgia has to earn Ryan Puglisi minutes. We talk back to that 2024 season. There were so many games where Georgia came into it was like, oh yeah, we'll get the second team in for the fourth quarter, get some reps for Gunnar Stockton at the time, and they just weren't there. To the point where Gunnar Stockton came in the game against Texas, and it was kind of like, this guy's played 30 snaps up to this point, at most. So they have to beat the hell out of teams to earn these snaps for Ryan Puglisi.
And get him in an area where you feel like it's okay to let him run the offense.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And I feel like in our times watching Georgia, the only time the backup actually got an opportunity was when they were beating ass so bad that by the middle of the third quarter, the starters already pulled. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you get the back half of the third to work, and then in the fourth, go hand that thing off.
No matter what, the last 3 or 4 drives of a blowout for Georgia have always been, all right, let's get the fourth running back some carries.
Bare minimum, first 2 weeks of the season, there should be quite a bit of Ryan Puglisi
playing
time.
clean.
Yes,
playing
clean. There should those first 2 weeks should be Ryan Puglisi's best football he's ever played.
Let's talk a little bit about the running back room. I think the offseason goal should be clear and concise. Who in the hell is occupying Cash Jones' snaps?
Yeah.
That's the only thing we got to figure out. And that is all about who can actually pass protect, far more importantly than who can catch the football. I don't know about you guys, but I don't envision Gunnar Stockton being Mr. Charlie Checkdown. I don't envision him going through full reads and swinging the ball out to the back. That's not what's all that important. What's most important is, hey, they're blitzing us right now. The mic showed up at A-gap. Can you actually go block that guy? Because that's what Cash Jones did a ton of. And, yes, sometimes on third down he might get swing screen here and now and then. Might catch a Texas route out of the backfield. But it wasn't like that guy had 45 receptions that we got to replace. Nope. We got to replace all them absolute, nasty works in the pass protection department. Because folks will be blitzing you guys again in 2026, I would imagine.
Yeah, and I think that's a really interesting point that you bring up because I think that a lot of people look at Cash Jones like, oh, he was the gadgety third down back. He was the passing option that we're going to throw to. That's kind of a replaceable thing. He was a very, very good blocking running back, probably one of their best in that room last year.
Too good at it. He got a personal foul for it.
Yeah, he was. And to his credit as well, you got to find somebody that's comfortable being a receiving back as well in those situations. Yep. Who is that going to be? It doesn't matter who it is, but someone's got to be comfortable getting into that role and taking those receptions.
And by the way, Nate Frazier, you're 5'10", 205 pounds. You're going to have to do that on Sundays if we want to play forever. If we want to play forever, like I think we're capable of doing, we have to develop in this area as well. So I think we should take a point of pride in it. And I would imagine everything he does with that. He does it with a sense of pride. You would imagine he wants to be best or better at that. Let's talk about the tight end room. Here's what I put down, guys, and agree or disagree. Feel free to do one or the other. I need more firepower from you guys, okay? I need playmaking and production. In 2026, with the way the offense is currently constituted, it's not enough for the tight end room in 26 to just be good blockers. It can't be.
Right.
There has to be playmaking out of that room. It has to be Elias Williams. It has to be Lawson Lucky being explosive. It has to be Ethan Barbour making plays. It is no longer okay. It will not be okay in 2026 if the tight ends are just helpful in the screen department. Nope. They need to be impactful football players.
Yeah, I mean, you've recruited those talents to be exactly that. Like, you didn't pay Elias Williams to just be one of these road graders in the blocking game. You didn't pay Ethan Barbour to be just another asset in the tight end room. Like, these guys are meant to be – like, Lawson Lucky didn't return to just be that. Like, these guys need to be very involved in the offense. They need to be one of your better playmakers, especially this season when there's so many questions in the wide receiver room. Like, those guys need to be verified answers. Those need to be the knowns of the offense.
And it also has to come with growth at the quarterback position. We got to be willing to throw that ball over that middle of that field.
Yeah, and I think what's interesting about that is that we saw glimpses of that last year. Mm-hmm. There were moments – I mean, Lawson Lucky had a 3-touchdown game against a top 10 opponent. There was moments where it felt like the entire drive was revolving around Oscar Delp. We all know what Elias Williams was doing as well. Like, Ethan Barbour also had flashes, was going to be a playmaker before his injury. So it's definitely that the potential for it to take place is there. It's not like there's a bunch of bodies in the room where it's like, hey, we need one of these guys to step up. You just need to find ways to use them more effectively.
Honestly, we've talked about the wide receiver room enough already. We'll talk about them more and more and more. It will be the most heavily talked about position group on this team other than maybe safety.
Right.
Close second safety. But we know who the names are. We just got to see what it actually ultimately becomes out there. Now, offensive line, here's what I put down. I think you have 4 high-end starters, okay? I think Ernest, I think Drew, I think Juan, I think Donnie are really, really high-end SEC starters. Power 4 football starters. They're really, really good. My question is, we need 8, really. Like, we travel 8. Are the other 4 in that mix of 8 good enough to make you whole? Yeah. All right? I don't need 5 superstars. I need 4 really, really good ones and 4 playables. I think we're good enough and better suited than 98% of college football if that is the case. I just don't know where those 4 come from.
Yeah.
Hell, I can't even find a 5th right now. To be honest with you, I feel really, really comfortable about playing on a down-to-down basis.
Yeah, I mean, that's going to be the most important aspect of it, and you have to hope that guys that they've recruited in previous classes are going to step up and finally take that step that we need them to, but I agree that it's kind of a half-filled room right now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, you're in a better situation this year from an offensive line perspective than you were going into last year, in my opinion. Like, there were a whole lot more questions on the offensive line last year from a health standpoint between Ernest Green and Monroe Freeling, like what that was going to look like. You have experience returning this year at majority of positions. It's just really figuring out like who's going to be the 5th starter, and then the development of the guys behind them, like who's going to take over, who's going to take the reins there, who's going to earn those travel spots.
Absolutely. That is the offensive discussions there. Let's flip over to the defensive side of the football. Let's start with the interior defensive line. If I told you that Gabe Harris, Quintavious Johnson, and Amaris Williams were going to play 90% of the snaps at defensive end and jack next year, would you agree?
As of now, yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
Probably.
So that means we really only have 2 spots that we're going to be rotating bodies at, and it's at nose tackle and it's at D tackle.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, because the other 2 guys are going to stay on the field. They did last year. They're going to this year, I think. So that means we got to have a really, really serious conversation, not with Elijah Griffin. We know he's going to play a lot of snaps. But when Elijah Griffin and Xavier McLeod are not on the field, who earned the snaps? Who is making meaningful impacts on this roster? I'm looking at you, Horton. I'm looking at Josh Horton. I'm looking at you, Jordan Hall. I'm looking at who else is in that discussion. We got Valdon Sohn. Do we find our way into that? All right, there's a lot of bodies in that room like Nasir Johnson that have been in that room for a while. Namdi Agboko that have been in that room for a while.
Didn't they play Hane at a 3-tech some last year?
Who's that?
Hane?
Who?
JJ Hane? Or is he more of
I classify him more as a defensive end.
Okay. I just didn't know if they put him in 3.
Yeah, no, I think he's the heir apparent to JJA snaps right about now.
Okay.
But he did find burn.
Yeah.
They found
It wasn't
ways
on
to
the
play
interior,
him.
though.
No, it was more outside 4-eye, which goes into our defensive end discussions, right? We got J.J. Hane. You got Joseph Jonah-Ajonye. There's Isaiah Gibson. But here's the problem. Not a problem. It's a good thing to have. Gabe Harris is a type of lunatic that has to be dragged off the field. He ain't going to be tapping helmets. There ain't no, Gabe looks tired, we got to get him off the field. Nope. If Gabe's healthy, he's going to play every snap he's available to play. So guys like Joseph Jonah-Ajonye have to take snaps from him. They don't just they're not allowed. You know what I'm saying? It's not like one of these players that can only play 45 snaps. If there's 65 snaps to play available, Gabe's going to be the best available for those 65. You're going to have to steal them from him. You're going to have to earn them from him. So JJA, you're going to have to do that. JJ Hane, you're going to have to do that. Isaiah Gibson, if you're going to play this year, you're going to have to do that. Same thing I feel like for Quintavious Johnson. Quintavious Johnson was on the field almost every down last year. And I don't know if anybody other than Amaris Williams is going to be the guy to take these guys up off the spot. And if I were Glenn Schumann, if I were Trey Scott, if I were Larry Knight, Gabe Harris, Quintavious Johnson, the moment one of you need a breather, Amaris plays, and then we just rotate the 3 of you for the 2 spots because you are that supremely talented against the rest of the room until someone else proves me otherwise.
Mm-hmm. And that's why it's such a big spring for all of the other guys.
We didn't even mention Chase Linton. Because there's a lot of names.
And that's what I'm saying is we haven't even gotten to all of the names that Georgia retained and of guys that are coming back. Still young football players, but that's a lot of bodies that are going to be competing this spring for a very limited number of snaps, for a very small number of playing availability on the defense this year. So, and that's good. That's a good thing. You're going to get a lot of competition. You're going to get some. You're going to get good reps from a lot of different guys, I would imagine, this spring, and you're going to know who are those guys because somebody's going to have to stand out, and you're going to know who it is.
Yeah, I was going to say I think that the Gabe Harris, Quintavious Johnson rotation will not be what takes place in the spring.
No,
because those are going to be guys that are, is Gabe still battling his foot injury or is it?
Mum's the word, dude.
Yeah,
I think I told you guys before the show. I feel like we're gonna have to prep a lot before we go out for that first spring practice. I feel like there's gonna be a lot of that. Maybe he dumps the clip. Remember last spring he was gave us the 7. These guys have had surgeries. They will not be practicing. I bet there's a list of those.
Yeah.
So, even if Gabe's healthy, if Quintavious is healthy, you don't need to play in the spring.
No,
you don't need to play a lot of snaps. We don't need to be burning it up. We need to get Amaris ready. We need to get Isaiah Gibson ready. We need to get Ikenogban ready. Talk about the linebacker room just briefly. We know who you are. We know what the names are going to be. What we don't know is how much better you've gotten. I don't know how much, but we're going to find out how much better Rayla Wilson's gotten. We're going to find out if he can get better, if there's room to get better.
Right.
Chris Cole, same thing. We know we have to get better. Justin Williams, we know we have to get better. Here's what I put. I put Raylan and Chris, first up Justin. Got to find playing time for Zayden Walker. Where does A.J. Krua fit in the mix? Does Nick Abrams find a way to make a Zayden Walker-type impact come August and November?
Right.
Somehow Terrell Foster's still on this roster?
Mm-hmm.
Terrell, never mind. Ain't my place. Terrell could have had 130 damn tackles at Furman this year. But, hey.
He loves G, Brooks.
I was about to say, damn good dog.
Sure is.
Trying to plant roots out there in Athens.
Mm-hmm.
It's a good spot to do so. Nickel safety, IDK.
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. Corner. Who's cornerback 3?
It's a great question.
I knew who was cornerback 3.
That's why he's now quarterback 2 at Ohio State.
Man. Gotta let it go.
I ain't never letting it go.
I'm not letting it go.
I'm not letting it go at all. When he balls this year, I'm going to cry.
Oh, my God.
He must have found out who his day one.
Do you think he knows?
Oh, I think he knows because I randomly got hit with a follow yesterday. It was yesterday.
He's been following me for a year and a half. He knows, bro.
He's aware.
He's aware.
But he realized too late. You're at Ohio State now, dude.
Jayla said, I don't want.
Or as my daddy called him, the suck eyes.
Proper usage. Yeah, I don't know who cornerback 3 is going to be this year. Hasn't been a lot of talk about that.
No, there hasn't. But it's interesting though because I feel like we've gone into the last since Kamari Lassiter left of who's going to be the other cornerback opposite blank, opposite Dalen Everett, opposite whoever's there. this is the first year in a while that you've come into the season where you have two proven commodities of, okay, he's going to be our one quarterback, he's going to be our other quarterback. What?
Today's number 2. Okay. New game alert. It's the name game.
Did we talk about safeties beforehand?
Yeah, I said nickel safety IDK.
Okay.
I don't know.
Okay.
I don't. Is it Rayshawn Deakins and KJ Bolden? The rest of the room, we're gonna find out. Zion Branch look good. We're gonna have to find out. Find out about the whole room. So here we go. Name game. Here's how it works. I randomly select a number 1 through 99, and you two diehard dogs then proceed to rattle off names that wore that number until one of you no longer has a name, and then we crown a champion of the day.
I will say, for today's list, I think there's only one name that I came up with that I don't think Christian did. There's only one of them.
Today's number 2.
Yeah. The very popular number. Usually if you're rocking number 2 at Georgia, you're probably going to be a pretty memorable player.
Heads is Sanford. Tails is 25. Jonathan, call it in the air. Heads or tails?
Heads.
It is tails. Kirby, first name of the number 2 list. What do you got?
All right, well, let's go ahead and get one that's fairly common, fairly well-known, out of the way, the easy one. Let's go Kendall Milton. Played running back for Georgia last few years. Very recognizable number.
The rare gonna make an appearance on 2 list. Kendall Milton.
Another very popular name, probably the one that I would say majority of fans right now think of when you say number 2, Mr. Richard LeCount.
Woo-hoo-hoo! Richie. Love me some Richard LeCount.
All right, I'm going to go my favorite player to wear this number, Brandon Boykin.
Yes, Brandon Boykin.
Boykin, friend of the show, Fayette County's finest.
I'm going to strip you of the ability to say this name, Christian, because I know he's one of your maybe under-the-radar favorite dogs, Mr. Asher Allen.
Asher Allen was actually going to be the next one that I said.
Asher Allen.
Oh, yeah.
Shout out. Played in the...
Hey, no chat peeping, by the way.
Not looking.
No chat
Not looking.
peeping.
No, I'm not chat peeping. Who's another? Let's go current player, Zion Branch.
There you go.
That's a good pull. It's a good pull.
We'll go a little here's maybe one that probably hadn't forgotten, but one you definitely don't think of. How about some Nitro Tuggle?
Oh, I was just
he was.
like mines. Just had Tuggle on the mind.
Another player who has since departed, Smile Mondon.
Ooh.
Yes.
Smile
part of the
Mondon.
Not too many linebackers have rocked number 2 at Georgia, but Smile
It's
did.
a correct one.
We'll go with a guy that had some time in the limelight, but it was very short-lived. How about Dwan Mathis?
Yes.
Yes. The only starting quarterback of the I can remember to wear 2 for Georgia.
Only one.
I can't
Brief
remember.
stint, 6 total series
Yes.
as a starting quarterback.
Let's stay in the offensive side of the ball. Let's go Josh McCray.
Ooh.
Played
Most
for Georgia
recently.
last year.
Yeah.
All right, got to dig into the bag a little bit here. Don't know if you had this one on your list, Kirby. How about Jason Stanley?
Ooh, Jason Stanley, wide
Stanley.
receiver,
Yep.
played the late Mark Richt years, early Kirby Smart.
Yep.
Mainly a special teams guy.
Yeah.
Jason Stanley.
Excellent shout.
Okay.
Shout.
Okay.
I'll go in the bag as well. Give me Parker Welch.
Oh, yeah.
Backup
Old
quarterback.
We're reaching.
Yeah.
Parker Welch.
Now, this one is a very, he goes down as one of the better players, I would say, at his position. Probably doesn't get his mention as much as he should. Had a pretty good career in the NFL. DeMario Minter.
Oh, DeMario Minter was about to be mine. Was on that
Doesn't get talked about a lot.
was on that Sugar Bowl team that beat the hell out of Florida State, I believe.
Yes.
But I think that's all I got. So
Okay, well, I got one more. This is the
Ooh.
one of, break glass in case of emergency. There was another quarterback that I remember wearing number 2. Only reason why I know this player is because of the old NCAA games. He sometimes was there, sometimes not. Mr. Sam Vaughn.
That can't be a real name.
Was like a 4th-string quarterback, never played, wore number 2, I believe in 2013 range. Yeah, that was my break glass in case of emergency.
I don't think Chat's got a name here that you guys missed out on. I would like Chat to win one of these days. I think that would be
I
cool.
think that's
I would imagine they would at some point.
That's as far as my knowledge goes back. DeMario Minter is the very end of it. Other than that, you'd have to be looking up 90s players or players that played in the 80s.
For some reason, I don't feel like any big time football players wore 2 in the 90s. For Georgia, at least, the big block letter in a 2. I don't envision one. Now I'm a very young, Georgia guy.
If we're being honest, there weren't a lot of big-time players for Georgia in the 90s. It was Hines Ward, it was Champ Bailey,
Yeah.
a couple running backs, and whoever was playing quarterback.
Did Richard Samuel wear 2?
I don't know.
Richard Samuel wore 22. He was 2-2.
You guys can look up Sam Vaughn. He's officially on the Georgia football roster, or was when he was playing.
But yeah, no, I mean, I thought at first like this would be a very
Yeah, Richard Samuel wore 22.
Okay.
Yeah, Richard Samuel wore 22. I remember that because of the game he played against Florida in 2011 when they broke the streak. Solid game.
A 3-year player at Georgia. The
Yeah.
3 and done.
Yeah,
Played in the league for a while, didn't he?
I don't know.
he's a pretty solid, right? Like a very solid, just always going to be on a roster, never going to be the feature back.
I might be thinking of Curtis Samuel. Football brain doing that to me.
Oh, yes.
What else do we have on the show sheet today,
We have
boys?
another newish game. That
Oh,
was
UGA.
mentioned. Yes. The
All right,
UGA
so
game.
This
The
is going to
UGA
have
game.
this is going to have us debating, I feel like.
Absolutely. All right, so here is this. This comes directly from Discord. Pardon me, I forgot the gentleman who mentioned this today, but reached out to those guys and said, hey, what is a segment you want us to do today? UGA name game came out of that, as did this right here. Unreal, Gifted, Athletic. UGA. All right, those are our 3 categories. Now, Unreal, I think prior to the show, we kind of
Smith wear
agreed.
number 2?
Who?
Did Maurice Smith wear number 2?
Maurice Smith
Mo
did
Smith
wear
did
number
wear
2.
2.
He sure
Shame
did.
on us.
Stink.
Man, shame on
You
us.
guys
Chat got us
stink
one.
at this game. I don't know who Tim Wansley is, but he wore 2 as well. You guys stink.
That's a little
at this
before my
game.
time.
All right, but anyways, UGA game. I think we're gonna be better at this. Unreal, Gifted, and Athletic. Now, the Unreal category. Debate me here. Roquan, Brock Bowers, and Nick Chubb. This is all Kirby Smart era, by the way. I think those 3 are in a category of their own. They're in the Unreal category, and it's really, really hard to even find a 4th.
So what are we classifying as unreal?
Unreal. It is unreal. So you can't even fathom how good this football
My
player is.
interpretation of an unreal would be never going to be replicated. That you'll never see another mold of that player.
I would put into the category those 3 players will never be seen again at their caliber at Georgia.
I'm going to go Malachi Starks in that category then.
I don't know if Malachi Starks had this type of career of these 3 football players.
I mean, a 3 years now, statistically speaking, from a legacy standpoint, it's hard to have those type of careers when you're a safety. But you start as a true freshman on a national championship team. You make some of the incredible plays that you did throughout your career. You're a 3-year starter all throughout, and you're a first-round pick in the NFL draft.
To me, he doesn't fit into that lore of those 3 football players. To me.
Is that
And I think you're right in the sense that he made unreal plays.
But is that because of the lore, or is that just because of the positional value? Like, everyone values a running back, everyone values a Mike linebacker, everyone values a safety. Like, at that point, we could put like a Stetson in this category.
I think if Champ Bailey played in the Kirby Smart era, he would fit into this unreal category.
That's
I
fair.
think it would be undebatable.
That's fair.
He fits in this category.
I don't think it's far-fetched to put Malachi Starks.
No, I don't. But I think he fits into the athletic, like one-of-one athlete category we're going to talk about here in a minute. Where if you told me that it was the coolest thing in the world to still be a decathlete, I think Malachi Starks could win the decathlon. I think he's that much of a one-of-one athlete.
Right.
As does Trayvon Walker fits into that athletic category, as does Nolan Smith fits into that athletic category. We round that up with those 3 players.
So we're saying the legendary production was not necessarily there.
Correct.
Okay.
We had to match an unreal player profile with unreal player production, unreal historical context of who this player is at the University of Georgia. These guys are unreal athletes.
That's fair.
And Chat, I think it's far-fetched to say that Starks had a bunch of bad plays. It wasn't a bunch of bad plays. Like, there were moments, sure, in his last year, but
every single player had bad moments. I can
Correct.
show you about 5 plays in the Rose Bowl of Roquan Smith getting put on his ass.
Facts. So that's we've solved unreal. We've solved unathletic or athletic. What we got to solve is this gifted category. Now, I put a player like George Pickens in this category because to me, I will never associate anybody with the quality of hands that George Pickens had. You won't ever hear me quantify. That guy reminds me of George Pickens with the way he catches the ball.
Body
he's
control,
one of
yeah.
one.
I think body control for me. Like
That too. He's very gifted.
His ability to always put his feet, his body in the right position at the right place, that was what stood out to me most. He has great hands, but I think with that, the ability to just be in a position was what made him so gifted. I think that's a fair assessment.
I had Nakobe Dean in this category. I think that's a very gifted leader and a very gifted football IQ player. Like, hard to find anybody in that echelon of
damn rocket sciences.
Yeah, I mean, got an engineering degree at his time at Georgia.
Got a rocket science degree.
So, like, I thought he was gifted in that portion, and that's something. And like, you want to talk about gifted, like that's just not something that you train into somebody. Like Nakobe Dean was gifted individually in those portions of being a football player.
I love this. So we got Pickens naturally gifted. We got Nakobe football brain gifted. Who's our third in this gifted category?
I have three other names.
I've got a couple other names, but I want to float out Stetson Bennett. There are very, very few players who, as many times as they were asked in their career to deliver in the clutch, and they did. Now,
always delivers.
Obviously, there were some moments where he did not play his best game. You can point back to Alabama in 2020 and 2021. Obviously, he was not a perfect quarterback, but I don't think there's ever going to be a Georgia player in the next 10 years when you say when the chips are down, when you need them to deliver, they delivered as many times as he did.
I love the suggestion.
Yeah, that's a strong suggestion.
I also think he is borderline moved from, especially the further and further we get away from those titles, he'll move into this unreal status, I think, where it's like, man, I don't know if we'll ever have one of like.
But here's the thing.
Dude, Stetson was great.
But if we're talking about like athletic profiles, like Stetson Bennett was not this.
And that's why he'll always be out of that mix.
He was the scrawny walk-on that turned into a two-time national champion.
Honestly, the hindsight on that might be anybody could have won a title with those teams. Somebody might do that.
When it comes to Stetson,
they already do.
I don't care like what category you're debating for UGA lore. I've always just said that Stetson belongs in his own category. Like whatever you want to label it, I don't care, but there is something for Stetson where, like, he is the only name on this list, and he belongs there, and that's what defines his greatness because he is a one of one when it comes to Georgia football. Like,
I think he's one of the four faces on Rushmore of Georgia football. I would go probably Herschel, Vince, Kirby, Stetson.
Right.
Yeah.
But I just mean, like, for him to belong on a list by himself because he reached that status. Like, there's a way to quantify how great Stetson Bennett was, and it's not going to be talking about how athletic he was or anything like that. But there's like a category for Stetson where he only exists. It's only him, and that's where he needs to be. I just don't know what you would call it. I don't know what you classify it.
Who are your other suggestions here?
I had Andrew Thomas.
I got a special place in my heart for Andrew Thomas.
Like, just that's how I would deem him as a player. Like, that's just a very gifted player.
Yeah.
I had Ladd McConkey.
The feet.
I think that's
extremely gifted.
Very, very solid player, but had a niche that made him different.
Yes.
And it might make him a 6-time 1,000-yard receiver in the league.
Yeah. Then my last one was Jalen Carter.
Yeah, very gifted.
A very gifted player to, like, there's something to be said about Jalen Carter's ability to just, if I want to take over the game, I'll do it.
Him and George Pickens are kind of Spider-Man meme, to be honest with you.
Yeah.
They're kind of the same person from a antics standpoint.
Yeah.
Yeah, just, I don't know. He's gifted for
from a loose cannon. Type of football player.
Now, the good news for Jalen is that works to his benefit.
Chat brought up a good one, Broderick Jones.
He is one.
Broderick Jones is one of the more gifted football players to ever play at Georgia.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I have two others. Now, one of them I don't feel like is a strong suggestion, but I do think it kind of fits into the niche we're going. Zachariah Branch, I think, fits into this gifted category.
Very gifted.
To the ability to make defenders miss like he did, to kind of be such a threat with the ball in his hands.
Now we need a category. What were you oohing?
I was going to bring I wanted to bring this up yesterday during our Combine segment, and it just completely slipped my mind. But I thought it was really interesting for him to talk about how he was asked, like, how do you make defenders miss so much? Like, what goes into that? What do you do? And he didn't even talk about how it's just a natural ability for him. He said all of that goes into him studying defenders, how they play the screen game. Do they like to dart inside? How are they trying to defeat blocks? which angles are they coming. Like he said, I do so much film study that I understand where defenders are going to be at certain points when we run a certain play. That's how I'm able to know, like, oh, here comes this defender. Like, I know where to be at all the right moments. I thought that was really interesting.
Oh, I mean, his dad was a pro. Mm-hmm. Uncle's a Hall of Famer. His dad trains pros. He's been training like a pro. I thought the other thing that he talked about that was really neat was like, he said his dad's had him doing cryotherapy since middle school.
Mm-hmm. Ooh, cryotherapy's for real. For
real. So they've been highly trained weapons for a while. I think we need a new category on top of this UGA. Okay? It's a separate category. DAWG, just straight dog. Immediately when I say this person's name, you think, dog.
Kamari Lassiter.
Javon Bullard. Dog.
Mm-hmm.
Dan Jackson.
Yeah.
Dog.
Dan Jackson. Very good answer.
Mm-hmm.
Drew Bobo. Mm-hmm. Dog.
Yeah.
Gunnar Stockton. Dog.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. There's a lot of those.
That's
guys.
That you can fit a lot of players in that category.
Yeah.
That would be hard to get to a top.
I think at some point that should just be the bare minimum. You're either a dude or a dog.
Yeah.
We ain't got nothing else. We got dudes and dogs.
The last suggestion I have for gifted, and I
SVP. Dog.
Yeah. The last
in town, by the way.
Oh, cool.
That reminds me.
Well, the last suggestion I have for gifted is Jacob Eason. Now, I know that his career was not what people thought it would be, but I feel like to have that undeniable arm talent, it gets put in some category. He wasn't a great quarterback for Georgia. He never, flourished like you thought he was going to, but the arm talent was legit.
Yeah, I would put him on the list, but he was gifted in arm talent. It was a one-of-one type deal. That's for sure. I mean, it's what still to this day gets him NFL tryouts.
I feel like DeAndre Swift was immensely gifted.
Oh, yeah.
I have him in my athletic category because he was a kind of do everything back. We saw him run people over. We saw him make a miss. We saw him jump over. Like, DeAndre Swift was a extremely athletic
The
running back.
DeAndre Swift dead leg gives people nightmares to this day.
Oh. Did we ever define the three gifted? Are we boiling it down to three?
Yeah, George Pickens is one.
I think Nakobe needs to be on the list.
We said Nakobe is one.
I like
and then
Nakobe.
I'm fine with Jalen Carter being the third.
Okay.
Over Stetson?
We talked about it. Stetson own category. I by the way, find me pushback on that Mount Rushmore 4 of Georgia football lore.
Oh, no. He's on there.
Those 4 are guaranteed. I wouldn't even find a 5th.
Yeah, no. I mean, that's a great 4. I like it.
Okay. Athletic. I have Darnell Washington. I don't understand why it gets that reaction.
You didn't feel like there was more to be squeezed. Go watch the high school Darnell tape and tell me there wasn't more to be squeezed out of the frame.
Well, that's fine,
Out
but
of
that's
the-
You
not
know
what
what's weird?
We just tweeted about it.
Rusty Manziel literally just tweeted about how Darnell Washington was 265 pounds his freshman year playing tight end and a freaky athlete. Is he watching the show?
No, I think he's responding to the Hezzy Kent stuff going on.
Oh, yeah. But that's what I'm saying is, like, for a guy to be that size, you don't come across very many, if any at all, to be able to do what Darnell did.
Are we putting him in the caliber of athlete that Trayvon Walker, Malachi Starks, and Nolan Smith are?
Hey, look, this was just a nomination.
Because that was my 3.
This was just my nomination of I think that he at least deserves to be discussed as a candidate.
He definitely deserves a recognition. I don't think when I see Darnell Washington, the biggest thing I think is size. It wasn't, my God, he's athletic too. Like, he was an incredible tight end, but if he was 6'5", we wouldn't be talking about how athletic he was.
Well, no, but that's what makes it.
Trey'Dez Green is a more athletic 6'7", 6'8" football player than Darnell to me.
Right, but
Darnell's closer to Leonard Pope than he is Brock Bowers.
I'm just saying, like, the size alone and what he was able to do being at that size.
It's a marvel.
Yes.
It's a
That's
marvel.
what I'm saying. Like, again, this is just a nomination. I just wanted it to be discussed.
Well, you nominate 6'7" Darnell. I nominate 6'5.5".
Yeah.
265 pound, 270 pound Trayvon Walker.
And
who
it
ran
starts with
4.49.
him, okay? Valid. This guy took over the combine.
That's who I nominated.
This guy literally took over the combine. Everybody was talking about Trayvon Walker. Yes, it starts with him.
Let me throw one out here.
Should I tell the Trayvon Walker story from the basketball game?
Nah.
Yeah. Maybe another day.
Let me throw out this name. The epitome of athleticism, Justin Fields. Now, I know what you're thinking. incredible arm, running abilities, tested well. Now, not a great Georgia career. We all know that. Never started a game for Georgia. From an athleticism standpoint, he is one of the most athletic quarterbacks Georgia's ever had. He's one of the more athletic players Kirby Smart has had.
You're right in the analysis. Don't think he belongs on any UGA list.
That's fine.
Just
I think
scratch it off.
I think my 3 are tight.
I think when you think of he's the best example I can do of strictly athleticism. Like DeAndre Swift, athletic, but he also had greatness. Like Darnell Washington, athletic, but also had greatness. Like strictly athleticism in a vacuum, Justin Fields is that.
I mean, at that rate, why not throw Robert Beal in the mix?
Robert Beal won 2 national titles. That's what I'm saying.
Did.
Like from
He
a
did.
career standpoint,
RB over JF? You heard it first.
I think Justin Fields is the most pure example of just soul athletics. But
Jordan Davis has to be discussed.
Facts.
Has to be discussed.
Yeah.
Again, I know that it's more about his size.
Could you imagine what he would look like if he'd played at 3:30 at Georgia like he's doing right now?
The only the one clip that runs in my mind constantly of Jordan Davis,
Arkansas?
is it's whichever one. It was one of the times where he's chasing a quarterback to the sideline.
Arkansas,
UAB.
KJ Jefferson.
Ground
Yeah.
the
no,
entire
it's
time.
UAB.
It's not UAB. It's a more memorable game.
I vividly remember what he doesn't quite get him.
But he's closing ground.
He's closing ground on KJ Jefferson.
And it's freaky
It's
stuff.
Arkansas 2021. It's nuts. I'm with you. It has to be mentioned in this. I mean, he ran 4.78 at 340 pounds. I mean, he's in the mix. I like my 3. I keep saying it. Malachi Starks, Nolan Smith, Trayvon Walker.
It's a good 3.
Also goes back to what we were talking about last night with our combine observations. You come into Georgia as a 5-star, you're going to leave as a 5-star.
Yeah.
From an athletics standpoint,
You
will not become a worse athlete playing at Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
It's guaranteed.
I will say this though, Nolan Smith deserves a nod for his leadership greatness.
Facts.
Because Nakobe Dean, yes, absolutely is the epitome of that, and there will always he'll always have that. But Nolan Smith was as much, if not more, of a leader throughout his entire career at Georgia. Like from the minute he stepped foot in 2019 to 2022, that guy was a leader.
How about a Azeez Ojulari shout?
Love that.
The bend and the twitch.
We got
on that
asked
guy.
about him in Indianapolis.
We did, yeah.
Yeah. Great run to pass ability by that guy. The ability to convert run defense to pass defense was elite during his time. He's got the highest sack total in a season in most recent memory, right?
Yes.
I believe so. Yes.
Yes.
Like 9.
There were multiple players who were on the verge of beating that record, but one got injured and one was not allowed to play football.
Yes.
That season was about to be something.
Make sure you hit that thumbs up button on your way out. I love you. We'll see you tomorrow.